good to It's Fugazi. It's good to Fugazi you, Sam. And I can't see you, but it's nice to hear your voice. It's really good.
I did try today to make someone say it out loud.
Right.
Like I tried.
You've already been talking to me about this, for a long time.
I don't want to.
I
don't want to get too.
You were
into
pod recognized today.
I was like, I have like a strong, what I would call a pod bond, at the local bike shop, and I was asked how Fugazi August was going, and I was like, well, come on, you got to try to say it. He didn't do it. He didn't. He didn't
even try to say it at all. He just didn't even bother.
I don't think so.
Oh my god!
So there's a lot happening in the bike shop.
Fucking
I was also demanding a lot at the time. I'm a very bad customer.
You're like, take off my training wheels, and they're like, you're not ready, Sam.
Yeah, they just refuse. They're like, not until we see you get down the street without wobbling.
Well, bike shops are kind of. It's interesting that you're talking about this. I think you've been running around all day trying to get your training wheels taken off. So you probably didn't look at the Discord today, but actually, and I'm going to keep plugging this all night, all day, whenever you're listening, because it's free. The exclusive this week's free for everyone. You all need to check it out. Go to the video feed. It's even public on our YouTube. I have befriended...
It's very important work that you've done.
I have befriended a 60-year-old Machine Gun Kelly fan who was being mocked for gatekeeping Machine Gun Kelly tattoos and treating it like it's a gang. And through speaking with her, through befriending Shelly, I've learned that it is less of a gang and more of a family. You can find out a lot more if you go to the YouTube. So I was on our YouTube page today uploading my interview with Shelly. And I saw, people do listen to the pod on YouTube, and we always forget about that.
Like 8 people.
Yeah, we did get a first-time listener this week.
Oh.
And it was on the Reviver episode. And so this person has commented on the Reviver episode, and it's really, I think there's a lot of reasons why this comment cuts deep. I think what is the most deep-cutting thing for me is how it's presented so kindly at first. So this is on the Reviver episode of the show, which was probably a mistake in retrospect to do in general. But, we kind of knew that going. Sometimes you just need to do things that you know are mistakes, just because. It's
whole podcast. You could spend years of your life doing that.
It's true. So the comment says, "This is my first time listening to your podcast. It's engrossing, and y'all are insightful folks." I mean, already I can tell this person's not going to like me saying stuff like that. But it's obvious the one who's not familiar with Latterman, Iron Sheik, etc. So that was me trying to remember. I mean, I am familiar with them, but I probably said, I've never really listened to these bands. I think I used to listen to Latterman.
You probably did the Josiah thing where you're like, I don't know, I know they're a band, but...
Because I probably didn't want to admit that I've heard Iron Sheik and, was dry heaving from it. Or that's usually... When I say I've never heard a band, it usually means I was dry heaving when I was listening and didn't want to admit it.
You're trying to protect the feelings of our listeners who skew towards my...
exactly.
My taste.
So it says...
And we appreciate it. We appreciate your patronizing... withholding.
Maybe before I read the rest of the comment, I'm just going to, for those who haven't heard the Reviver episode, I was complaining in the episode that I saw Reviver play at a community bike shop in Calgary, and I was complaining in my, exaggerated, elevated, albeit truthful way, that I think it's annoying to go to a bike shop where instead of just giving the money and they fix it for you, they walk you through how to do it, and then you have to learn a whole new skill, and it's this whole production when you just want to pay someone else to fix your bike. I still stand by that. That's how I feel. I saw Reviver play there. I think I did a humorous aside meant to entertain the listener about that. And so this y'all folks person writes, "It's obvious the one who's not familiar with Latterman, Iron Sheik, etc. is not an anti-capitalist. It makes sense you don't understand things, especially the punk scene. The part about the bike shop was major secondhand embarrassment." So shout out to our new listener. I hope you keep listening.
Thank you to Good Girl Obey.
Well, maybe I don't know enough about punk, and maybe I should inform myself with a little segment called Punk News. Punk News, P-U-N-K-N-E-W-S. Sam, what's your punk news? Please school me, because you've heard of Letterman and Iron Sheik.
Yeah,
and you do go to a bike shop where someone listens to the pod. Now, what is that? Now, in this confusing realm where I host a show, I'm the boss of a show that is not punk because I don't like the community bike shop. Explain to me, does that make your bike shop guy listening to the pod, does that make it more punk, or does he listen for you because apparently you're the anti-capitalist of the two of us, which really goes against, I guess it's champagne socialist, Sammy, maybe.
Yeah, I think you and I can both agree, and our many punk listeners can agree that I sort of set the tone for anti-capitalist sort of discourse and action in the city of Toronto, in the bike shops and beyond.
You're a known entity.
I'm a known entity, a sort of a beacon of progressive thought in Toronto. That's so it is, something that I think about a great deal in terms of, am I...
G-chat only joke.
There's a G-chat tier going on. Yes, I am that person. So yeah, it's a heavy load to bear, but this platform where we mostly talk about Machine Gun Kelly, I think it's important to espouse the powerful anti-capitalist ideals that Good Girl Obey and I share, and which you are not party to.
It's true.
So in that vein, my favorite anti-capitalist rag, where I generally go, to keep up with the movement internationally, right, with the cause, is of course Forbes. My favorite zine, and of course my favorite columnist there, someone who I feel like has always sort of been a little ahead of the curve on sort of anti-capitalist action, is of course Steve Desmeyer, who covers finance, hedge funds, responsible investing.
You take a quick look at this guy's headshots across various platforms. This guy's punk AF.
Yeah, you getting the vibe? And so Steve's written an important article that I know is going to be sort of percolating across the Twitter sphere, over the next couple of days, called "For Investors." It's called this, but he's asking a question. It's a rallying cry, right? There's good rhetoric here. This comes from the hedge funds and private equity section of Forbes. For investors, is punk dead? Well, I don't know, Stephen. I guess.
So wow. I mean, is God dead?
Yeah.
Kind of also adopting the "Is God dead?"
I believe that's what it's referencing. Yeah. So Steve goes on. 45 years ago, punk was everywhere. From the Sex Pistols almost claiming the top of the singles chart with "God Save the Queen" during the UK's Silver Jubilee celebrations, to the Clash releasing their debut album, 1977 took punk defiantly into mainstream culture.
Now, is the Clash's debut album self-titled, or is he? I mean, why did he not include that? It's just an interesting sentence already.
It just feels like there's a lot of detail around the Sex Pistols, and there's like the Sex Pistols did all this stuff, and also there was a band, The Clash, and that's 1977. Punk certainly was a social and political movement, which I know.
I didn't know that, actually.
Stay tuned for more. Listen, please. Sit your ass down and listen. Punk was certainly a social and political movement, but it was also a musical revolution. Its antagonists, sick of the prog rock excesses that ruled the airwaves, wanted something more elemental and authentic. That's not an antagonist. Wouldn't that be like it's
yeah, that's true.
The antagonist would be the prog rock bands.
They were what? Well, those are the progtagonists. You're the antagonist.
Oh.
I think that it's referring. It's just a poorly formed sentence, but I think he's saying that the punks were antagonists. I mean, it depends on who's the main character in this narrative, really. I think.
Interesting. A contemporary fanzine printed a simple guide to playing the A, E, and G chords on guitar. Its message: this is a chord, this is another, this is a third. Now form a band. Wow.
That's like. It's possible. Why is he not naming the fanzine? I also can't. I'm clicking the notes. It seems like it was
a band called The Clash.
And also, I feel like Bono always talks about this. I feel like Bono wrote this. through Steven. Is that his pen name?
Well,
for
noted
Forbes?
anti-capitalist punk Bono. But here's where it really ties together for me, because right now, we're kind of okay. I get it. These are some facts that you could perhaps find easily on Google, but Steven's really going to tie it together in a deeper way. It's possible to tell a similar story about the rejection of complexity following the global financial crisis. Products were incomprehensible even to the sophisticated institutions that bore their supposedly low risk. After they collapsed, investors understandably craved simpler approaches. It doesn't surprise me that this period marked the beginning of the rush from active to passive funds.
Okay. All right.
Wow. To adapt the punk maxim, this is an equity index, this is a bond index. Now form a portfolio.
Okay, now it makes sense because when I searched him on Twitter, no one gives a fuck about this article or this guy, to be fair. But he did tweet this with.
Well, I care.
He pulled that part of it, and he said to adapt the punk maxim. This is an equity index. This is a bond index. Now form of. It was very confusing. I don't think enough people know that maxim just in terms of its form for it to make sense without using the original quote. It's not like to be or not to be punk. In fact, that would be better to say, I think. To be or not to be punk. I just coined that, so remember that. That's kind of what this show is about.
You should write that down for sure, because we won't remember that. Now, it goes on, some stuff that really only true equity heads like me are maybe going to care about. I'm just going to scroll down and see if he gets kind of back into punk, because now... okay, here we go. Writing in 1977, the U.S. presidential speechwriter, columnist, and etymologist, love them, William Safire claimed the success of punk in music and fashion springs from rebellion against the material success of rebel leaders. Which is to say, once revolutionaries win, they become the ruling class and ultimately inspire the next generation of revolutionaries. For the founding punks, it wasn't just the economic malaise of the late 70s, it was the bloated music of their former heroes. No Elvis, no Beatles, or the Rolling Stones sang The Clash in their track 1977. Many investors were undoubtedly well served by the revolution from complexity, simplicity in their portfolios through the long bull market. It's clear traditional stock-picking fund managers suffered in part from the proliferation of access to data and efficient trading platforms. There's something about Johnny Rotten here. This is the conclusion. So perhaps it's time for the revolution to take another turn. After all, the original punks evolved. The Clash went on to draw on everything from reggae to dance. And even Johnny Rotten returned to being John Lydon and embraced avant-garde influences. So when considering whether to stay with the simple portfolios or go, I like that, you may recall the words from the Clash classic, "If I go, there will be trouble. If I stay, there will be double." There is no easy answers, so we should remember the value of complex thinking.
I love him. Well, okay, one thing real quick. I was just kind of poking around to see if I could find anything, maybe if he has a Last FM or if he has this guy clearly loves punk.
Does my boy Scrabble?
He doesn't Scrabble. There's some Scrabble talk later in this episode, just so everyone is aware. But he doesn't Scrabble. I can't find much about his punk cred. Everything points back to his LinkedIn and the fact that he works for something called Man. He literally works for man.com. But then he did write another article in June. So this is from August. In June, he also wrote an article. This is going to force you to download a PDF. So I don't know if you want to or not. That's up to you. This might be helpful for your investing. I know you do in an anti-capitalistic way, which I don't understand. I'm more of an uncle capitalist, to be honest. But the headline of this financial report that he did for the Mann Institute isn't never mind the economics. There's more to markets than the GDP. But it is never mind the economics, exclamation mark. I think he's referencing never mind the bollocks. So that's pretty dope. I wonder if he got into
confirmed punk.
At least maybe this is the first person to be won over to punk since the advent of Disney's Pistol. Maybe because this is all happening summer 2022 for Steven, but I couldn't find the word punk in this PDF, so I don't know. He's just leaving breadcrumbs. Can you find the word
punk in his tweets?
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh man, I do love this guy. If you could see what he looks like, he looks, very punk, honestly, for sure.
Yeah, he looks like he played bass in this looks to be his only tweet about punk. He looks like he plays bass in a Vagrant Records band.
Yeah, that's true. He does look like he in 10 steps removed from punk. He might exist in some form. Well, thank you so much. And so my punk news is, I don't know if you heard about this. I'm actually just going to maybe play the video. This is big news from this weekend. You may have to hit play yourself.
Oh my God,
but,
yeah. This is some great punk news.
This is a weird, bizarre story.
We've talked about Scott Disick, who seems to lead this very charmed life. Well, this cuts either way. Maybe he's very lucky here, but he had a car accident over
Now, for
the
people who don't
weekend
recognize
that
these
was
Look
voices,
at that.
really bad. His
I
Lamborghini
can't remember.
SUV.
What's the other guy's name? Do you know?
This is driving in
No,
the
Harvey and the other
gated
guy. This is
community of
TMZ.
Oaks
This is
in
TMZ
Alabama.
Live.
And he ended up, the vehicle's on its side,
Scott
but
Disick.
that thing on the left that you're seeing there, that is a
Former,
stone mailbox that he just sheared it right out of the ground. So I don't.
Kourtney
police
Kardashian
did
baby
show up.
daddy.
Scott is okay. It's minor injuries.
Charles
No
is
alcohol,
the other
they
guy.
say.
But police said no alcohol.
They kind of
involved.
have the
No
exact
alcohol,
same
guys,
voice
but
at this
police do say they
point.
think that speed was a factor here, and really you can't argue with that. Looking at these photos,
This guy also looks
his
like he's from a
vehicle was the
Vagrant
only one
Records
involved
band.
in this thing, so you got to assume he's going too fast, maybe distracted somehow.
Whenever you see, like, a
hits the
plain
mailbox
guy,
and that
he's
flips
kind
the
of-
vehicle. But Scott had a minor injury to his head, refused further medical treatment, and I think he's pretty lucky that that's all he got away with here.
Really lucky.
TMZ
So
Live.
how fast
Scott
do we
Didn't
have
hit anybody? That he didn't hit another car or hit a person?
Do we have any sense of how fast he was going?
We don't, and you don't really see skid marks either, and obviously that's usually what they use to determine that.
There must be surveillance
laughing at the
cameras
word skid marks?
in the Oaks, I would think,
Yeah.
where
Okay,
they
you
could
pressed
see
play earlier than me,
you know,
so that-
what happened before the
I
before
knew it
this
was
happened.
coming,
But
which I liked.
To knock over a stone mailbox, you have to be going awfully fast, right?
And to yank that thing out of the ground.
That's what I mean. To yank it out of the ground and then for the
Now,
car
it
to...
is a very heavy vehicle, but still, he's not doing. I mean, I would imagine the speed limit there is at most 35.
No.
Probably 25 in that
At
residential, right?
most. I mean, this could be 15 because there are kids all over the place in this community. It's a gated community. There are no businesses or anything else. This is
Speed
a...
limit aside, he's definitely over the speed limit, regardless of how fast he was going. He's certainly over the speed limit, and really,
Do you
really
see?
lucky.
Do you see
I mean,
the hill there? There's kind of a
he's coming
slope in that
down.
hill.
He flipped
he
his
must
Lambo
have just
in,
nailed this thing. I mean, God knows how fast he was going, but
gated
he's
community.
lucky because there are kids all over the place
Calabasas.
there, and I have no idea. But that can't be 25, 35 miles an hour. It's got to be faster.
Hey, I'm Josiah from Canada, and I was just thinking, if Scott is speeding so much, he's probably chasing some kind of extreme. And you think about Calabasas, it's kind of the epicenter of punk rock in America right now. You got Travis Barker, Machine Gun Kelly, Modson. So I'm thinking Scott Disick should start a punk band instead of speeding.
Yeah, I mean, I got to
Never
tell
heard
you.
of Calabasas referred to as the center of the punk rock world.
Nor have I, but I got to
get
tell
it.
you, he's lucky. He is lucky. Not just
So that's kind of mine. I did appear on TMZ Live to talk about Scott.
So what's
Disick.
the story here? So TMZ slides into the DMs, and I would imagine they would want you to talk about Machine Gun Kelly, which you did manage to do.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to talk about Machine Gun Kelly. So basically, I was like bored on Friday afternoon, just kind of goofing around, and I saw Travis Barker had got COVID-19, and I clicked on the story to check on my boy Trav, and everyone was replying like, "Who cares? No one cares. No one cares that Travis has TMZ." And I just was like, I'll just reply to everyone as the pod. And I just kept being like, I care. Of course I care. Like, and then they DM me and they're like, do you want to appear on TMZ Live? Now, this was on Friday. All weekend, I thought that they were like, someone maybe knew about the pod and knew who we were and like, wanted to talk to, because sometimes
There's some producer there who's
because sometimes the guests are like, our level of nobody, I think. So I thought maybe it would be like that, but it turns out that they just kind of let anyone go on to reply to these stories. So, I mean, all weekend I thought that I was going to be interviewed about Travis Barker and Machine Gun Kelly. And then when I did my my camera test, they're like, so here's the list of topics. And it was like J-Lo's wedding, Scott Disick flipping his Lamborghini, Kim Kardashian's like robber, having no remorse, which in order to talk about that one, I would have had to watch like a 15-minute Vice news documentary. I'm not going to watch that. But then I sort of pieced together, okay, I can talk about Scott Disick. I still kind of thought that it was going to be an interview. And then they're like, you'll have 20 seconds and you're not allowed to read from it and you're not allowed to promote anything. And so I just kind of spent like the next, because I was off on Monday, off of work. I spent like a good hour just like coming up with the perfect distillation of what I wanted to say. Yeah, workshopping off Sarah, memorizing it so it came out naturally. And there's some great construction sounds in the background. I was wearing a pod shirt, but they cropped it out. They've clued in too quickly. But
really,
I was even going to ask Harvey if he liked Fugazi because I figured, even if he had said, I don't know what that is, that would be great for Fugazi.
And then we could say it was featuring Harvey.
Exactly.
Yeah, it would just be good for the episode.
Yeah, but either way, I mean, it was really fun, and it was the fact that they replied and said the thing about Punk and Calabasas was so good. And then
it's so good.
Initially, I was going to say Ground Zero for punk rock, and then what came out is Epicenter. And then actually this morning, Matty Rendell pointed out that he had previously said that Calabasas was the punk rock epicenter of Los Angeles. So it's kind of like, maybe it's a parallel thought thing. I might have read the tweet. I hadn't have faved it. If I had seen it, I would have definitely faved it at the time. But I think I just was like, it was
Great
pod
lines.
Energy. It was a little bit of Matty Rendell, a little bit of maybe someone else like 155 Normie. I was just trying to bring all of the pod family to TMZ Live.
Well, I mean, look, I'm sure the viewers of TMZ appreciated it. I know I appreciated it. It's too bad you couldn't find a way to promote the pod for, I'm sure, all the people watching that show who would have,
Exactly.
then, curiously Googled it. But I mean, I hope you get to do it again. Do you think they're going to have you back?
Yeah, I think so. I think you can. I think they made it seem like they just always need someone to say a little clip, but I mean, it was a lot of work because I really wanted it to be the perfect little snippet. I don't know if I have it in me to do it again, but I guess maybe my desire to promote the pod so badly kind of does prove that I'm not an anti-capitalist. So that's much to ponder. But let's get out of the punk news section.
Punk news, P-U-N-K-N-E-W-S.
I'm so tired. I was thinking the bit could be we could be as whiny as possible, saying the name.
Well, how tired are you today, Josiah?
I'm kind of a different tired than usual, which might be bringing a different energy. I mean, I went going on TMZ for 20 seconds did eat up a lot of time yesterday. Not just the workshopping, but the camera tests and then waiting around. I had to watch a bunch of the show on Skype before I could comment. It's not live, but they still make you watch it and then talk at the exact moment, I guess, so they don't have to edit it after. It's really weird.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's so lazy. So that ate up a lot of my day, and then immediately after, I talked to Shelly, the MGK mega fan, for an hour. So it was a very interesting and weird pod day, but unlike my usual tiredness, I actually had a pretty great sleep last night. So I'm kind of I'm more mentally tired than I am physically tired. Usually I'm running on fumes of sleep and caffeine. So it's kind of it's a new tired, but I'm still tired for sure. How about you?
That's exciting.
How tired are you?
I would say I'm a little mental tired. I've been, as discussed, having, bike drama, walking bikes around, instead of riding them. So that's been tough. I stayed up too late last night,
What were you
I got
doing?
a video game that I'm
Oh, yeah, you're a gamer now. Oh, that's
I'm a
tough.
gamer now. So I am, I feel like because I got too into the video game, Into the Breach, I do understand where Ian is coming from with the song I'm So Tired. Josiah, how do you feel about the song I'm So Tired by the band Fugazi?
I don't know how I feel about it. In terms of 2022, August, we're close to the end of Fugazi. I'm starting to feel like this song, I like it, but I'm starting to wonder if this might be Fugazi's creep in the sense that people call Fugazi the Radiohead of punk. I feel like this might be their creep. This might be their one normie hit that is kind of a little bit gimmicky in 2022. But I still love it. But I'm just kind of I'm scared. I'm a little bit scared.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because this song is Reddit catnip. It's been posted in every subreddit you can imagine, including the Radiohead subreddit with Fugazi, I'm So Tired. It gives me Radiohead vibes. So you're not alone. And then the first comment is from user The Monkey Men. Not the Monkey Man. It's several
it's
monkey
a bunch
men
of. Well,
behind
that's
this account.
they probably have to delete so many comments before the monkeys can.
Get the right, yeah. I love this song. In case you've never heard it, someone mixed Wu-Tang Clan with this song, and it's genius.
Yeah, exactly. See, I'm worried about that. This has very unpopular opinion vibes. You know, anytime someone says unpopular opinion, you know it's going to be like the most popular opinion you've ever heard in your life.
And I don't.
It reminds me
I don't
of
think
that.
I realized how, because like on Apple Music, which is my anti-capitalist streamer of choice, it is the second most popular song after Waiting Room, which at least like that's still fucking weird, but it does kind of make sense. But I think it is the most popular Fugazi song on Spotify because like people have. I mean, this song is really fucking popular for a song that is not on an album, for a thing that just sort of appears as like essentially an ambient recording in like an avant-garde experimental documentary. And someone has asked,
should we tell them quickly? You know, because we're not going to talk about instrument too much this week because we are going to watch it on Twitch next week. Don't tell Jim Cohen, don't tell the suits at Discord Records, but we're going to watch it next week on Twitch. So look out for details for that. You know, maybe we'll all get tired together.
Right?
August 31st. So if you're feeling like you're so tired of August, you know, we'll watch it together. We'll let you know what the next month theme will be. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do a little bit of time shift right now while we're talking about this. Later in the guest spot, I mentioned to our guest, I wonder how much these lyrics are popping up on Etsy because it seems very like, you know, twee. And so I'm just about to search it on Etsy, but it autofilled to "I'm so tired of being my wife's arm candy" is what people are searching on Etsy.
Damn.
Which is relatable, honestly. It's true.
I mean, same. You know, that is. I think for both of us, that is like we haven't talked about that a lot on the pod, but that's a real. Maybe it's an autofill based on your previous searches to sort of in the same.
Or just
universe.
the algorithm knows, what I feel. Really?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And not that exact thing, but like, oh, you've made these other searches where you're like being used by wife, too hot. You know. Like,
and actually, the only things on
trophy
Etsy,
husband, me.
The main things on here are "I'm so tired of babysitting my mom's grandkids," which is very clever. That probably will take you a few minutes to figure out what that joke means. But no one has done that. Maybe there's no more alts on Etsy, really.
Well, look at it. I don't want to throw ahead too much. I didn't find much in the way because I thought maybe there'd be some DeviantArt, maybe some Etsy. There is not, but there is some art on Twitter. It feels like all the I'm so tired art does exist on the Bird app. So we'll get to that. Don't worry. There's some art to come, but. Couple of blue checks have interacted with each other.
Also, blue check. Okay, another thing, real quick, just while we're like talking.
Jesus
we don't
Christ,
have a lot to talk
man!
about.
What? Fine.
Blue checks
Go
fucking
ahead.
love Fugazi, and they love this song especially. And like again, TV producers love this song and love Fugazi. The other Twitter thing I wanted to point out because I don't know where to put it in elsewise is even with people I follow, there's a trend. And I feel like it's weird to read them out because it's people I know and just in general it's weird. But a lot of people love to tweet about talking to their therapist about Fugazi songs. And what does that mean? There's tons of tweets of like, I was talking to my therapist about Fugazi, or my therapist told me to listen to Fugazi. People either have an epic therapist or they had an epic talk with their therapist about Fugazi. So sorry, that's the last thing about Twitter I'm going to tell you until I interrupt with one more thing in a second.
Is it because I think about like what are the popular themes in therapy, right? It's the way in which like your parents have messed you up. It's but it's about I think for some types of people it couldn't possibly be me. Trying to sort of live up to imagined possible expectations that your parents might have have for you. Is Fugazi in that sense sort of like a surrogate parent where you've grown up and perhaps you, Josiah, specifically, I think of because I am an avowed anti-capitalist, but you've strayed from the path of anti-capitalism. And in that sense, like maybe when you listen to Fugazi, it's sort of like listening to a record of your parents being like disappointed that you didn't become a doctor.
I think Marsden pointed this out, but to say that someone is not an anti-capitalist is such a strange roundabout. So are you saying I'm a capitalist, or are you saying I'm neutral about capitalism, or what does it mean to say someone is not an anti-capitalist? Double negative.
I don't know what I'm thinking when I say it, besides just trying to rely on my favorite type of comedy, the callback. So I'll see though by the end of the episode if I've thought more deeply.
Okay, we vamped for too long, so I'm interrupting you again. This is the other thing when I was searching for people. Samantha,
I wasn't even vamping before when you were interrupting me. I was like doing the research portion of the.
Samantha Chang, another blue check.
Oh my God.
I asked you earlier this week if we should invite Samantha Chang on the pod. Commentary
You
for
did.
at West Journalism, financial editor. You would like that. Ooh, former leftist, triggerer of low IQ thugs. RT does not equal endorsements. Views are my own. Samantha Chang shared something. I don't know. I can't read all this shit. I don't know what it's about. Some epic shit that happened. But Samantha Chang said, "I'm so tired of this Fugazi POTUS and the GOP cucks who refuse to fight back against this shameless weaponization of the feds to target political enemies of the Democrat Party. Recall that Hussein Obama did this with the IRS." So, I mean, do you think Samantha is a Fugazi fan? Or maybe
I mean, absolutely. This is all that. Like, this is the exact kind of tweets that you find when you look it up.
I wouldn't be confused if you maybe there was going to be someone explaining what the other meaning of Fugazi was this week, but I wouldn't be confused if that had happened. Really,
Yeah, I mean, you know what? If we're lucky, it might happen next week. You know.
So, I agree though. The GOP cucks and the POTUS are both Fugazi, and I'm so tired.
Yeah, I'm so tired. Fugazi. Some other blue checks include these people are all like sort of pop culture writers of repute of some form, and they've had some interaction specifically around why this song is so popular. So it turns out it is the second most popular song on Spotify. I assume on Spotify it's also Waiting Room. So one blue check says to another, "Can you do an investigation into why I'm so tired?" Is the second most popular Spotify song, or Fugazi song on Spotify? Is it because it shares a title with a Beatles song? That's an interesting theory.
Are you not going to name them? This is Zach Schoenfeld. I mean, I don't know why you're protected. Are you scared? Are you afraid to start a fight?
I don't know, because
Zach,
I don't know these people. Am I supposed to know?
Freelance writer and editor, contributed to Pitchfork, Paste, Vulture, and has a
Zach
33
wrote
and a
a 33
third.
and a third book.
Fuck off. Get out of here. And then Nate Rogers is the other one. Bylines at LAT, NYT, WAPO, Ringer, GQ, Stereogum, Vice, etc. I will write for you. For me?
Wapo. Get him right on the pod.
I'm so tired. It's number 2 on Spotify. It's true.
Okay, yeah. It looks like Zach Schoenfeld wrote a book about 24 karat Black's Ghetto Misfortunes Wealth. Okay.
Probably sold a lot better than the Enema of the State book that we pitched together 2 years ago.
For sure.
Probably definitely sold more copies than that.
So then Ringer Nate says, I'm starting to feel like Spotify tends to favor softer music just in general. A lot of passive listening on the service and algorithms trying to find music to keep you listening passively equals songs like I'm So Tired and Avril 14th getting a shit ton of streams. And it sort of goes on from there. I mean, there's like...
That's Nate obviously not true. That's the dumbest thing I've ever read. It's because it's like an epically recommendable low-key bop that everyone loves to share a unpopular opinion about, that it's low-key the boppiest Fugazi bop.
It doesn't sound like any other Fugazi one. I actually do think that's interesting, though, is that it to me, it is believable that a song that is like eminently playlistable, like could go on a chilled playlist, because that is like the way that streaming has kind of changed listening, right? It's mood based now, and many of those moods are like study, chill and study and chill. I actually don't call as much bullshit on it. To me, it sort of makes sense, but it's a sort of self-perpetuating bop algorithm that does then lead to people recommending it and putting it on their own playlist and sharing it. But you think that these blue checks are not correct.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love blue checks a lot, and I think they should be a protected class in North America, including the lady, including Samantha, our dear friend Samantha, who started the Fugazi GOP cocks. But no, I just think, I think everyone just doesn't want to admit that Fugazi has like a meme song that everyone, including myself, when I'm tired, I think of this song. I get it in my head. Every time I'm tired, I think I'm so tired, and I'm like, fuck, there's Ian living in my head rent free.
I know.
And he's rich
They
as
own
fuck,
it.
too. He doesn't even, he shouldn't be living there rent free because he has all that money from record sales. So,
But it does become something that just gets shared, like you said. So this is like, again, unpopular opinion. Here it is on a very popular post on our music. Oh my gosh, has anyone heard "I'm So Tired" by Fugazi? It's life-alteringly good. It does feel like a song for people who say that things are life-alteringly good.
Yeah.
Which is definitely something that I've said. I'm sure if you looked at my Twitter.
but so then I think maybe the algorithm's not servicing it because it's softer, but it's because it's so low-key, life-alteringly boppy is why they do it. Because
Yeah.
if you're the kind of person who actually discovers new music from an algorithm and not from some sort of carefully cultivated combination of spite and hating certain groups of people and then finding things ironically or whatever kind of sick brain that I have, if you learn about music from an algorithm, it's probably just being put in there because it's a freaking piano bop with the "Where's My Mind" chord progression. That's probably what it is.
Just an important update from me. I've never tweeted the phrase "life-alteringly," so I actually feel really good about this right now. But something you will love, and again, I think speaking to the sort of mimetic nature of this song, is that the second most popular comment is "check out Fugazi." So
Exactly.
But it is incredible again that like this is it's understandable because the song is so like perfect. It is like the hook is there. When you are so tired, it exists. You're like, oh, sheep are counting me. Fuck yeah! Like it is. It feels like a song for everyone. And in the same way, like I remember, this is like old and bullshitty, but I remember having a conversation early days of Fucked Up, like an interview with Mike for Exclaim, and him talking about how the idea that if you can sort of become the thing that when someone says the term like, oh, this is fucked up, and then you're thinking about the band Fucked Up, like that's an accomplishment. The idea that Ian has done the same thing for Be Entire.
Exactly. It's genius.
Kind of rocks.
I also got to say, "I'm So Tired, Sheep Are Counting Me" is like, it's incredible. It's perfect. It's literally, we were talking endlessly about all the various ways that Fugazi has intersected with Vish Khanna last week. But a big portion of that was trying to figure out what kind of sense of humor he might have. This song opens with, or I don't know if it opens, the chorus is a setup and a punchline, straight up. That's what it is. It's incredible. To be so tired that sheep are counting you, that's hilarious. It's so good.
And now you were looking for that phrase on Etsy, and I let you know, like, no. Twitter is the spot. And in particular, it feels like a phrase that has sort of found an audience in like people who do like a certain style of sort of art, a certain style of like I don't know how to describe. Maybe you will have better words for it. So here's from user BDAC, and it is "I'm so tired, sheep are counting me." Adam belongs to Crimson Cross OFC, and it's like two men like in a very sort of sweet embrace, and then there's another one, and this one's like I actually think quite beautiful. This is from user Riva Airy. Same thing. "I'm so tired, sheep are counting me." And there's sort of one photo that's like sort of two men in an embrace. You can only see their back, and then one where one of them is sort of standing alone and stretching. Also quite beautiful.
They both kind of, for maybe I just have Obama on the brain, but they both, I'm imagining that it's two Barack Obamas in this one.
You know what? You could, if you were to tell me that these were two bar back, because it is their back,
right? True.
Obama, I would believe it. Speaking of back, this is a slightly different one. This is from loser Leo Wolf, the "I'm so tired, sheep are counting me," and their drawing is of what I would describe as a very thick anthropomorphic rat.
Yes, that rat is packing. Absolutely.
Yeah, like the rats sort of like sit in it and like looks like a bar stool, kind of looking back over their shoulder, and just a tremendous amount of ass on this rat. And then things get a little more mournful and lonely from here.
You ever heard
like
the
a
phrase
drawing.
"give a rat's ass"? Well, I mean, finish the thought here, but that rat does have quite a big ass. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I
the
don't know how
rat
to-
could afford to give some of that ass.
There we go. Thank you.
Now here we've got like just sort of a lonely but handsome man smoking in bed, looking real sad.
Yeah, just with the
while-
lyrics again. I don't know. I mean, all of this looks like it's drawn on like an iPad with a Apple Pen or something.
Yeah,
And-
there's like some stylistic consistency here that I think is really interesting.
It's a lot of these accounts have like the 18 and under don't interact, and they take commissions for different things. So I don't really know if there's a name for this like scene. But I have a feeling someone listening might know. So let us know if you know what we're talking about. But it's very interesting. It's almost like it looks like it's made on an iPad. So in that sense, it's kind of belongs to some sort of, there's some context, but otherwise it's like none of it is particularly funny or bad it's interesting, but it's not, it's just like I don't even know what to say about it. It's like a neutral art form. Twitter, iPad, 18 under, do not interact art scene, I guess.
I think that's it. So unfortunately, we don't have an easy tag for it, but that's the vibe. But again, it like shows the reach of this song, which is again like as this outlier, and that's the thing that the band has not really talked about that much. I mean, again, like I don't know, how many people really just want to talk about "I'm So Tired," but a few of them have, and I think that that's really interesting. There's a Pitchfork interview where they talk to Guy about. Is this...
Picciotto.
They're talking about piano. He's talking about initially like trying to teach himself piano, and Pitchfork asks, and they'll put the author's byline in here, do you think that's something you'd like to bring in? You mentioned how you like I'm So Tired, and he says, yeah. And then, I guess, trying to elicit a longer response we get, is there a reason that type of song has never made it to a proper album? Kyoto goes on. Ian and Brendan are both really, really good piano players, and they've played piano in the past. In fact, Ian played some piano as far back as Joe Number One of our earliest songs. So there's been piano over the years. The main thing I think is that we've never had a piano in our practice space. And when we did I'm So Tired, it just happened to be that there was a piano in the place we were recording, and it just kind of came together. And then he kind of goes on to talk about, trying to teach himself piano, but how it's, really difficult. And people have tried to excavate, this will be fairly obvious. There are no live videos for us to watch of this song. And so on the Fugazi subreddit, which I can't imagine is the most active place in the world for some reason, there's been some debate about, why and did they ever, it's not in any of the live show listings. There's some I can't tell where this interview has come from, but it's a question being asked to Ian about this piano piece and instrument called "I'm So Tired." Was that a rarity, or have you written more songs like that one? Might you ever record a studio version of the song? And how long have you been playing piano? And then Ian says, I consider the piano my main instrument and have been playing as long as I can remember. It seems to me that I might have come up with something resembling a song as early as 4 or 5 years old. I'm So Tired was a song I wrote for possible use by the band and recorded it as a demo. The band never used it, but it ended up in the movie and soundtrack because Jem shot a scene of us listening to it.
Jem.
Which is I'm really excited to watch that movie. I feel like I watched it during the pandemic again, and it's so fucking gorgeous.
We're gonna absolutely ruin the shit out of this movie. We're just gonna.
If you haven't seen it, maybe watch it before.
Because I'm just gonna be babbling, and Sam's gonna be having a great time too. So, yeah.
But the great thing about it is, even in this conversation in the Fugazi subreddit, people keep sharing the footage of it, an instrument being I found this behind the scenes footage of them, because people I think a lot of people come to the song with lacking the context of the film, and so then they're check this out, you can kind of see them working on it. It's this, I don't know what this is, but it's amazing, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
And then there's No, please. I mean, you can now. I'm then now would be a great time to interrupt me, but I can keep going.
I forget what I was going to say. I think I was going to make a joke about how if Guy Picciotto lies, then his nose will grow, but I don't want to. In case he's listening, I'm just joking. Just joking.
That's fine. I know we're not the pod to do this, but I do think this is interesting. Is once again on the Fugazi subreddit, someone is trying to figure out if the piano that it's recorded on is a quarter tone sharp because it's like impossible to play along with. And then there's some debate as to whether or not the piano is not in standard tuning, which like, is that a thing you can do with the piano, or if the piano is just like fucked up and out of tune, or if it's like the tape transfer, so it's like warbled.
There's some nice warble on it for sure, which I think adds to the epic recommendability of the song for sure. There's definitely some nice warbs. That's true.
It's basically it's like an Orville Peck song.
Yeah. I'm curious if there's any other lyrics that are good in it because I just think of the one line, I want him to say the line, but it seems pretty sick lyrically in general. Like
it's very sick lyrically in general, but as a result, like our good friends at Song Meanings, have had some debate over it. So the rest of the lyrics, in addition to the sheep part, is pretty short. Out here, I can barely see my breath, surrounded by jealousy and death. I can't be reached, only had one call, dragged underneath, separate from you all. This time I've lost my own return. In spite of everything I've learned, I hid my tracks, spit out all my air, slipped into cracks, stripped of all my cares. I'm so tired, sheep are counting me. No more struggle, no more energy, no more patience, and you can write that down. It's all too crazy, and I'm not sticking around. Fuck!
It's so... Okay, wait. On Genius, it also says that Guy Picciotto had been fooling around with this line in another song, but then didn't finish it. So the line, sheep are counting me. So maybe that is a true Ian Guy collab. Damn, that's interesting. If Guy came up with that joke, then we still don't know what Ian's sense of humor is. So that kind of fucks everything up.
Yeah, Vish didn't have a lot of insight into Ian's sense of humor. It doesn't text him as much about basketball games.
Yeah.
But on Song Meanings, there's a lot of people think that the song is about death by suicide, which I think is sort of one. And then they get into like the needle marks. That's heroin. And people are like, no, Ian invented straight edge. But so you go on and like, amazing that Ian go from the raw, frenetic, unharnessed energy of minor threat to this. It's so fragile and delicate sounding that it generally sounds like a suicide note. A pretty real songmeanings.com interpretations. But I'm a big fan of these comments that are from 2017. Seems like he could be behind bars. Which,
I think I saw the reply to that one.
Yeah, and then the reply is or a loony bin, which I don't know. When you hear the songs,
actually, the same user did 2 comments for effect. That's so cool.
Yeah, man, I think it's about being really tired. That's.
Here's what I want to know, Sam. I know something of the various things that I resent about you: your staunch anti-capitalism, the various activist efforts that you do around your city, the Greater Toronto area, and just kind of how much you are changing the world each and every day through your selfless efforts. I'm also very jealous that you seem to just hit the pillow and fall straight asleep. And so I'm curious, have you ever tried counting sheep before?
No, I will count back from 1,000.
Really?
When I can't sleep. Yeah, that's what I do. I count back from 1,000.
Oh my God.
What do you do when you can't sleep? Like, do you have any sort of...
I usually go on my phone and stay up all night. So that's probably what it is. I look at Facebook memes and I look at things on Twitter. I often when I can't sleep, I'll go look at the people I have muted just so that I can feel really angry and agitated. Really, I don't know why it doesn't work, but
yeah, that's funny. I feel like we might be circling something informative here, but we shouldn't dwell too much on it. Now, I did mention there's no real live videos, so and we know there are a lot of covers, but there was just like one thing that I found on Twitter that I don't want to step on, your section if.
I mean, I've been respectful towards you, so
And so I am showing you that same respect. So I've sent it. This is in GChat here first because I don't know if this is something that like already exists on YouTube. But if it doesn't, this would sort of come up in my my search for sexy rat art on Twitter.
I never found this.
Okay, because this is...
And so also, real quick, this is a good segue into cover. So, but real quick, just while I was asking you that, I searched it, and researchers at Oxford University asked participants to try different techniques to fall asleep and found that counting sheep was no better than doing nothing at all for people struggling with insomnia. So again, a confusing double negative, just like our cruel commentary.
See, but I don't understand that, because to me, like, maybe it depends, but like when I can't sleep, it's because I'm like hyper focused on something or many things that are like stressing me out.
I pretty much have
to be counting
to be fully
and counting
clear,
backwards.
I have brutal insomnia every single week after we record the pod. I have a song stuck in my head and about 1,000 different variations of it. I'm giggly. I'm all hyper, like it's been a sleepover. It's every single week. It kind of like I get jet lagged, and then I have like a mental breakdown by Wednesday, and then I go into the weekend and then start the cycle again. It's a cycle. It's a horrible cycle. But I don't know. Yeah. So you do occasionally get insomnia, you're saying?
Yeah, I will. But for me, I will fall asleep no problem. Like I pretty much never. It never takes me longer than like 5 minutes to fall asleep. But what will happen to me is I will wake up in the middle of the night, or I'll wake up like really early and then not be able to go back to sleep.
So what I don't understand though is like, are you like inventing sheep in your mind? Are they named, or like are you just looping the same footage?
I don't count the sheep. I just literally go 1,999.
Okay, right. But the people who
and that occupies my brain. It doesn't always work, but
that's stressful, because what if you lose your count? Do you start again?
No, but that's it. You got to pay attention to the count, and so you can't think about other stuff.
So if you're counting sheep, like, is it like when the background on an episode of the Flintstones loops in repeat, and they keep walking by the same building, and you're just kind of looping the same 3 sheep, or is each sheep its own distinct person?
Yeah, you're like Steve.
And also counting sheep.
Catherine.
That's Steve and Catherine. Why do we hear the phrase counting sheep, we all visualize sheep jumping over a fence, but that's not in the phrase counting sheep either. That's totally different. You're counting sheep that are escaping from the farm.
I always think of them as jumping behind the fence and then landing. Like, to me, the popular depiction is I'm looking at the fence and the sheep are sort of jumping up to be seen by me.
Oh,
they're not escaping.
They're not, because it's going to say.
They're just doing a little. If you
they're
were
just
a
sort of
breaching.
You would not. If you were a shepherd and you were trying to fall asleep by imagining your sheep escaping, that's shepherd trauma right there.
It's true. I mean, yeah. Like, I think about like especially if it's like you're having trouble sleeping because of anxiety, to then ask that you conjure in your mind's eye the most stressful possible scenario for you as a sheep minder. I mean, that's terrible. I agree.
So _fall_autumn tweeted this. Realized I'm So Tired by Fugazi and Adam's song by Blink-182 are the same song. So Terrence made me this upsetting mashup. Thank you, Terrence, whoever you are. I'm going to hit play now. It's a tweet, so you might have to hit play too. But
I never thought I'd die alone. I laughed the loudest. Who'd have known? I traced the cord back to the wall. No wonder it was never plugged in at all. I took my time. I hurried up. The choice was mine. I didn't think enough. I'm too depressed to go on. You'll be sorry when I'm gone.
what the fuck? It's not even remotely. That's great. Oh my god.
So there you go.
So we're not going to do the thing where we pretended that where we try to keep. I was going to say we're not going to do the thing where we pretend to have to set it up because I was going to say we should seamlessly do
what
the break.
What the fuck are you
without
talking
going
about?
in.
What?
And now I was going to say we could seamlessly go back in, but now I've stumbled all over it. We have taken a break.
Are you okay?
I opened our YouTube for a second. There's another rude comment. Everyone on YouTube hates me, Sam. Everyone on YouTube hates me.
What did they say? What did they say?
Somebody,
you gotta stop. This is why you can't sleep. Like, just do the pod. Like, you and I are talking.
Yeah, you just
We're
talk
doing
and then
a podcast.
leave. I have to upload everything, and then every time I do, I see someone say, Josiah face reveal for me is cursed. Like, this isn't a face reveal. My face has been all over everything for years. Unless they thought that I was Shelley in the interview with Shelley, which would be confusing but not cursed because Shelley's a lovely lady. She's my friend. Everyone
face reveal is cursed. That's okay. That's rude.
I mean, unless they're just shocked at how handsome my face is, which is.
I mean that's
also
probably
shocking.
it. Where they're like they never thought someone so funny and could be so hot. Also,
Well, either way, everyone
that's what
should
it is.
go check out. It's on our YouTube. It's on our Patreon, but it's not paywalled. We're giving you one free thing for once. Check it out. I talked to Shelley. It was very, very good. It gave me some classic pod vibes from maybe talking to Josh Powell
awesome.
or the good old days of just finding someone online and talking to them and being a little bit nervous that it's going to be awkward and maybe seem like I don't know, like I'm making fun of them or something, and then end up making a new friend that I would never normally make. It's so cool. So
it's
shout
so
out to
great.
Shelley. Check it out. Mainstream sellout. And here is, to kick it off, a Nightcore version.
Yep.
We're in for quite a ride here, folks. So,
Oh, good.
and I think, well, I don't want to color your ride by saying what I think it's going to be like,
But it is a ride.
but it's a ride.
Okay.
So then, Nightcore pretty cool, but there's actually quite a few like kind of YouTube-y edits that are worth checking out. So let's do the opposite of Nightcore. Let's check out the slowed version next. There it is.
Yeah.
Barely see my breath surrounded by jealousy and death. I can't be real.
I mean, that hits the spot. Absolutely.
Yeah. This is fucking sick.
The thing about this song, as gimmicky as it is, it also is kind of a flex where you're like, it almost feels like they're being like, see, we could have been making songs like this all along if we wanted to. Which I guess is also what makes me think of Creep, in a way. Like, I think
Right.
it's like we could have if we wanted to, but we don't want to. Instead we want to make like silly reggae punk songs that half the world hates. So I think that's sick. This is Doomer Wave. It has like a feels guy on it. Kind of the same thing, but with more aesthetics.
Yeah, because it's a feels guide. Like, it looks like there's some kind of like, VHS.
Some crackles.
Yeah.
So that's hitting the spot. I mean, it's a Doomer version. I guess that plays into that it's a suicide song, maybe. Doomer vibe. I don't know. I don't remember what's the deal with Doomers and Coomers and consumers and all that shit. I can't remember. But
This is fucking awesome.
it's nice. So that's kind of like the, in my opinion, great stuff. Maybe a little bit easy though. You just kind of throwing some filters on it.
Low hanging fruit. Yeah.
Here's one that's a lo-fi remix, but I thought it was going to just be like a lo-fi remix, but this is instead like a straight up like lo-fi cover.
You want to hurt me? Me? Go right ahead if it makes you feel any better. I'm an easy target.
This is by Lo-Fi
Yeah, you're right.
Art, and it's like
I talk too
the
much.
channel name doesn't even display
I also
properly
listen too much.
because it's like this.
I could be a cold-hearted cynic like you. I don't like to hurt people's feelings.
Oh yeah. Okay. That.
There's like an choppy anime of a car driving at night.
I like me. My wife likes me. My customers like
I
me.
wonder what this is a clip.
I'm the real article.
It's fucking planes, trains, and automobiles.
Is it what? Yeah, maybe it is.
Isn't that John Candy? That's the John Candy model. On
Oh my god. So this is the user's first ever lo-fi cover. It was uploaded in March of this year. No comments yet. Let me know what you think. Well, you know what? I'm going to write a nice comment after all the hate I've been
Yeah.
getting.
No, now that you understand.
This is amazing. I should also add, also fuck you. No, but I mean, this doesn't just sound like someone took the MIDI file. This is like,
I feel like someone made a cover. Like this is a cover. That's
Now
awesome.
there's like a guitar lead doing some stuff. So that's kind of the extended Nightcore introduction to the covers. And now we're going to move on to some celebs. And first and foremost, and this was earlier in those conversations, why some of those blue checks thought it might be popular, was that Eddie Vedder covered this song of Pearl Jam. Now, Sam, how do you feel about Eddie Vedder?
I mean, I just don't care about Eddie Vedder. I can't be fussed to even.
I would love to love Eddie Vedder. There's something about him I would love to love. Like the concept of the album Mirror Ball, being friends with Neil Young. I occasionally, when he's like being quiet, I like it. But I cannot hang with Pearl Jam at all. Maybe one day it'll click for me, but that's the kind of stuff that I just can't get into.
I like Do the Evolution.
Yeah, is that like
with
the
the
faster
cool Todd McFarlane video?
Yeah, I like that one too. But otherwise, I just like I cannot wrap my head around most of that stuff. Like I just can't wrap my head around what it sounds like to me and how much other people love it. So maybe that's a challenge for myself, is that I should listen to Pearl Jam front to back and try to get into it, because that's fun. But here's Eddie Vedder covering it at something called the Bourbon and Beyond Festival.
Oh,
So
wow.
here's a great little bourbon bastard. Is someone playing something else? So he's wearing a very Bourbon Bastard kind of hat.
Yeah.
Playing a piano on a candlelit stage. There's some sort of head bust with bowling pins on it. Okay, normally I think if the crowd was cool, they would have gone "Woo" when they figured out what song it was, but they didn't know. He's really vettering it up.
I really appreciate that he is not facing the crowd. This is like so artistic.
That's true.
He just wants you to know this is just for him, and you're just here.
Inspired. I don't know. I can't.
It sounds like someone doing like a racist Eddie Vedder impression.
Well, yeah, I know.
It's like people from the Pacific Northwest.
Racist towards Yarlers. Yeah, I don't know about that Eddie Vedder one, but I also highly doubt that the Eddie Vedder cover of "I'm So Tired" turned anyone on to Fugazi or the song. Do you think? Maybe. You think they wanted
No,
to set list
it did
FM?
not this.
Look
Like
at Bourbon and
everyone
Beyond?
was at Bourbon and Beyond. Yeah,
You're like,
I
oh
don't
my
think
god,
so.
I got to learn about Jem Cohen. I don't think so, but a really popular cover is Jenny Lee Lindbergh of the band Warpaint, the bassist of Warpaint. She does a cover of it all the time, and it's very sick. And I've actually never heard Warpaint before, but I know they're pretty buzzy.
This is cool.
So I don't know what Warpaint normally sounds like. I think Josh Klinghoffer from Red Hot Chili Peppers was in it for a bit. Yeah, this is sick as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is so tight.
Yeah.
This is a cover.
they know.
I feel like this keeps some Fugazi vibes in it while still making it Jenny's own.
Their own. Yeah.
It has like a little bit of Evans feel to it too.
Totally.
And this
is fucking great.
The Warpaint version is so popular that there's actually someone who did a cover of the Warpaint version. This is from the channel Anything Popular Is Wrong, which I think is a great name for a channel also. This is done in the style of the Warpaint one. Very sick anarchy flag on the
Yes.
wall.
Looks like it was like printed off of a printer.
Yeah.
It's just like on an 8.5 by
On the
11
family
sheet of paper.
computer. The same person playing bass just appeared in the corner wearing a different shirt. The shirt in the corner says sick. The other one says, I can't really read it. Fave weird? Whoa. I think this has nicer harms. Like, it's in the style of Warpaint, but I still think Anything Popular Is Wrong could have gotten credit for making it their own. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
So that's pretty sick. And then we've got, who is this person? Laura Stevenson. Who is that again? That's a name that I feel like you would know.
Yeah, she's like a great, songwriter, great singer. She is. She
Bomb the music industry. That's what. Okay, yeah. I knew there was something
she's
that
sort of
was
in Bomb and she's part of the Bomb collective.
Okay, is
she's
that a
awesome.
thing? Is it a collective?
Yeah, Bomb was like sort of a very loose.
You're friends with a collective called Bomb the Music Industry, and no wonder people think that you're anti-capitalist. I mean, Sam, let's just be honest here. What do you think of capitalism?
I think it fucking rocks, man.
And see, he's being
I think
ironic, folks. He's using irony now to further his anti-capital. I have so much soul searching to do, and usually the soul searching I've been doing is buying sneakers. Soul searching. So that's what I need to work on changing about myself. So this one I think is Laura Stevenson. That's what the.
This was like, so this is the Pink Couch Sessions. This is a website called If You Make It used to do these. It was like their sort of tiny desk thing, pre tiny desk, but when everyone had one of these.
Remember when everyone had this kind of shit, and then it just all that's left is the tiny desk.
Yeah. Yeah, this is fucking awesome.
This one's really good, but I will say some of the jazzy inflections, the popularity of doing this really created some pain for both of us later in this pile. Ooh, really nice though. I love the new chord progression.
Arms, this is fucking sick.
Yeah, that's great. So that's Laura Stevens. So you even just based on the couch knew what this was. I mean, that's incredible.
Well, I don't know. I feel like that's just like a random image of her because, like, with the multi-tracking, that's definitely not because there were like these like live videos that Dave would film in his apartment.
You know the guy? Sam is so much more punk than me. Oh my god, I'm having an identity crisis in the "I'm So Tired" episode. Okay, up next. Now this artist,
they like released so many records they released records from Iron Chic and stuff. It was like one of the like.
And now who's Iron Chic?
One of the Pay What You Can record labels from that era.
Who's Iron Chic again? Have I heard them?
They're like bike shop.
It's bike shop shit. You wouldn't understand.
It's bike shop shit, man.
I mostly listen to lo-fi beats to study and chill to during the day, and I pay for YouTube Premium so I don't get the ads. No, I'm kidding. But I actually do listen to that sometimes. It's great tunes on there. Clairo is up next. Clairo is a much younger indie pop artist.
Clairo's like something I've Shazammed.
Yeah, Clairo is something that people like us Shazam. I'm pretty sure it's Clairo who has spoken about. Yeah, she's spoken both to Nardwuar and I think on YouTube somewhere. She like loves Jay Arner, which I think is really cool. Like that makes me anyone who loves Jay Arner, I love in return. So she held up a Jay Arner LP on her Nardwuar interview. She's talked about him on YouTube before. So Clairo knows what's up.
Sick. That's awesome.
Yeah, Clairo also covered "I'm So Tired." Here we go. Love the lo-fi crackles of.
Out here, barely see my breath, surrounded by jealousy and death. I can't be reached, only at one call, dragged underneath, separate from you all. You are. This
So that's beautiful.
Fucking awesome.
Perfect lo-fi recording. And then once again, someone on YouTube has covered the cover. So this is Jacinta with a cover of inspired by the Claro version of "I'm So Tired."
Out here, I barely see my
This is so fucking great. I know that it's going to get bad because you've told me, but I can't imagine a world in which I don't want to.
There's a chance it's not going to get as bad as I think it will. But
okay,
that's the thing. Like, it's proof that I'm not trying to make it bad. I mean, Jacinta has a bunch of Polaroids on clothes pegs. Oh, is that what those are called? Clothespins, pegs?
Yeah, clothespins, pegs.
Yeah. I mean, this is classic teen vibes right here.
Yeah,
Beautiful,
awesome.
beautiful teen singing. It is going to get really bad in 1 second. But first, this is interesting because this one I thought seemed really cool. And then I noticed that it's uploaded to the Pancake Mountain YouTube page. And Pancake Mountain, for anyone who read a blog in like 2008 or something, knows that it was like this public access children's TV show that Ian MacKaye was on, which he did a song called Vowel Movement, which maybe gives us some hint at his sense of humor, unless somebody else came up with that title for him. Maybe he was angry about the title. I don't know. I mean, we need to know. I would like to just talk laughs with Ian MacKaye, really. But
that's all you're just trying to do. Just a man trying to talk laughs.
yeah, but I don't know. Do you know more about? I feel like you probably know the producer of Pancake Mountain, so you're probably on it.
No, I experienced it only in the same way we all did, through the blogs.
Yeah, it was a very bloggable thing, and so that was a long time ago, though. And this was put on the Pancake Mountain YouTube in 2019. This is Christina Stuckey and Kelly Mayo performing Fugazi's "I'm So Tired." And so Christina is probably, I don't want to make assumptions, but there's quite an age gap between these two people in this video. So I don't know who they are. I've Googled them both. I can't really figure out who they are or what's going on, but it's really nice cover.
Do you want me to do are you gonna come in right away, or do you want me?
No, I'm gonna come in right away.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Out here, I can barely see my breath, surrounded by jealousy and death. I can't be reached. I've only had one call, dragged underneath, separate from you all. This time, I've lost my own return in spite of everything I've learned. I hit my tracks, spit out all my air, slipped into cracks.
That's so sick.
Jesus Christ, that's fucking great. People like on the video, like the woman who's singing has this real like kind of thousand-eyed sort of 1,000-yard dead-eyed stare the whole time too. It's like very haunting. That's fucking awesome.
It has like totally like classic New York artist vibe. So Kelly Mayo, I guess, is from a group called Skating Polly. If anyone's heard of that, maybe that helps. I don't know why they're on the. Maybe they just like got the keys to the Pancake Mountain account, and all the kids who watched it have grown up, or something. Who knows? But for some reason, it's on Pancake Mountain. Now, Sam, those were all really nice. Are you ready to maybe rip the Band-Aid off, or how you feeling? Okay.
Oh yeah, let's do it, man. I'm ready. Let's go.
So here's some rock bands trying to rock out with the song and sort of flip it on its fucking head by turning it into a rocker. This is a band called Mabel's Marbles, performing at the Bridge City Sessions. Mabel's Marbles with "I'm So Tired." Bridge City Sessions.
That's what it was.
Barely see my breath, surrounded
mean,
yeah, sick.
Are you friends with these guys? Is this?
I'm not friends with these guys. I there's so much that I love with this video. The drummer looks like he's been swimming. Like other guys in the band are wearing toques, and he's just the wettest guy. But shredding. The bass player's
V-neck and like a tight pony. Like he looks like a IT guy on his first date, which is incredible.
Yeah, and then just like what I can't tell is like, do they think they're harmonizing? Like,
yeah, it seems like they've taken the, not to say they didn't understand the assignment again. They've taken the concept of like grunting and making the vocals sound messy, and gone so far with it where it sounds like they're actually not even. It sounds like they're just like. Like they're like they have a stomach. It has like a tummy ache effect.
Yeah, like it feels like a Hard Times video about like a certain type of band where just like these guys are at slightly varying tones, like and like I wish and video wise like they're singing in such a way that like all of their tongues are sort of like pushed out. Like I feel like every time they cut to a different guy, he's like the experience of grunting has like. Not like his tongue's not out in a Gene Simmons way. It's like distended, like he's about to barf. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's just very
like their mouths all look like prolapsed rectums. Is kind of what I'm trying to get at here.
That's like in the vocal delivery sense, it's kind of goatsy-ish. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's kind of I've only previewed them briefly, but this is kind of in. Descending from worst to, or maybe ascend. Like that was the worst, I think, but they're not. The other rockers are not. This is called 430 Steps is the name of this artist. Which, if you're counting steps, it's barely any at all. So you could do way better than that. 430 Steps. This one is like shot like a Bush X video somehow.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Old timey mic,
swinging overhead light. I like literally all of these techniques are things that I recognize from 90s music videos.
Yeah, I guess, or like Our Lady Peace vibes.
Yeah.
So this is from this month of this year. So hopefully, wow, that's crazy. So the lights turned on in this, and they're literally in like a Gavin Rossdale house. There's bouquets of flowers hanging from the ceiling.
And there's like these very aggressive camera moves where it'll like speed up and slow down as it sort of swings around the motor.
I feel like a band like this. I feel like this kind of sort of I don't know the word, like jaunty hard rock exists because people are paying attention to Eve 6. Like these guys are probably Hard Times readers, Riot Fest type of guys, and they probably enjoy Eve 6 in the same way that like every hardcore guy was starting a dream pop band 2 years ago or a power pop band. Now like festy Riot Fest guys are just starting Eve 6 style bands is what I'm afraid is happening here. Does that track?
I don't know. Nothing that you said made a ton of sense to me.
Yeah, or it also sounded like Scott Weiland. Maybe like Scott Weiland solo music.
It just sounds like music being played by people who haven't listened to like much music. That's
or too much music, really, based on this.
Maybe
video.
that's it. Yeah, it was too much. Not to be confused with Too Much for Much, which was their oftentimes quite thoughtful dissection of videos that the station had banned.
So this is called Suerte o Muerte is the next artist. Similar, just think.
This is great.
I mean, it's sick in the sense that they're in like a legal office and there's a 10-year-old drumming.
Like they've definitely set up in someone's parents' office. Like yeah, there's no one around at night. I guess it's like it's a business district.
mean,
10-year-old's also wearing sunglasses.
I feel like he has transition lenses. I think I don't like this chord progression can't have grunty vocals, is what I've decided. It doesn't work.
No, okay, that's fair.
So that's Muerte. This is ND8. Maybe it's like a play on NDA, but it's ND8. So this is like a bald guy, or shaved head guy maybe. Does he have a mohawk? He has like a really short mohawk, and then like a goatee, and leopard print sheets, and there's like some sort of creepy face mask on the wall behind him.
And everyone really loves to like bring in the whole crew at that point.
Yeah, they love to.
I feel like a lot of these covers are being played by people who do only know this song. Right? Like I struggle to imagine almost anyone that we've seen.
Someone said that this sounds like Weezer in the. Well, I guess this part kind of does, but the vocals are very like opera. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is just like scary Battle of the Bands hard rock, but from people who only emerged for Battle of the Bands.
Yeah, but like, do you think of the last like 4 covers, like any of these people have ever heard like, Pink Frosty,
No, yeah, I don't know.
Not to like gatekeep it, I guess to gatekeep.
Well, gatekeeping is good. I mean, even Shelley taught us that this week. You got to gatekeep sometimes. Okay, so that was.
So I'm just channeling Shelley here.
You're just channeling Shelley, as you should. That was ND8. Up next, these are some more rockers. This is a band called Clarity. Their video is DJ Khaled. I think this is some more. This is a little bit more self-aware, but it's like the song has entered the realm of like boring post-Burger Records reverb rock, or maybe not post. This is from 2016, so this is the time of
the height of their powers.
I mean, when it's turned into a rock song, you just realize how generic it really is.
And so all of these just sound like really bad, like Nirvana knockoff songs. Like they feel like a thing where you're like, do you remember that band? Like, 95, much like CFN. They were on CFNY a bunch of the time.
Even
they were
like
big on the Thursday 30.
Even like silly sort of DeMarco style reverb goofballs. This is Pepsi Poopy Pickle Pops with it.
Everyone loves to use
fucking
those.
Annoying. I definitely used to abuse reverb, but I think this is from 2020 also. This is the Diplo Pops. It's called. I think this is from.
I kind of like that little guitar run.
Yeah, there's elements that are okay, but it's hard to tell if it's like completely a joke or not. Like the delivery, like I get that this vibe is about being silly, but this is like it's too far. I think too many layers, and also it's just. You're not adding anything, and you're taking away from the heft of the original, in my opinion. But you know what? That's just me. But here's another generic rock band doing it. This is the Friday Prophets.
Out here, barely say my
Yeah, these all feel like they would have been like you'd read a review of one of these bands in like Chart.
Yeah,
and be like, maybe I'll check them out, but like. I want to spend $30 on the CD because it's an import.
They sound like the originals of the original songs that would be by the bands that were covering First Date in their high school atrium or whatever.
Yes. Like there's still like stuff that I'm like, it's still like a cool melody or whatever, but this is exposing some real like what is good about it is this like and why it's maybe the band was right to never go past the demo, because like it's like Nebraska, right? Like there somewhere is, you know, the full E Street Band version of Nebraska, but it was just never as good as these 4-track demos.
Yeah.
There's something in the recording of the song that is not like, yes, it is a great song, but all this.
Here's another band
point.
trying to rock it out. This is Hope Lake, all one word. Hope Lake. This is in 2000. Oh, all that feedback and the projections. This is a serious fucking act. Yeah, what does this sound like?
Who are these guys? Like, if they were like 17, I would kind of get it, but the bass player is balding.
Yeah, they're pretty. I mean, I guess some people bald at 17, but what does this sound like? Oh,
God, there's like so much smoke on stage.
Listen to this.
Yes. Also, like, the stage is getting pumped with smoke.
This sounds like what I remember, like, Future of the Left sounded like or something.
Okay, that's fuck right off with that.
Okay, here's some, like, cool rockers who are more chill about it. This is Ultimate Painting. This one is pretty chill. I mean, you can tell just by looking. The guy's got a cardigan on. This is going to be way more chill.
Yeah, they're in the woods. Yep, this is great.
There you go. Everyone's got to just calm down a little bit. Oh, this actually sounds so good. I take back everything I said about turning it into a rock song. Ultimate Painting is James from Veronica Falls and Jack Cooper from Mazes. I mean, it's some indie pop heads doing this shit.
But I think that's the thing is like this song has clearly crossed over in such a way that it's being covered by people who don't like have more interesting artistic points of reference, whereas everything that's been good has come from people who presumably have listened to more than like 3 bands in their life.
Well, I also didn't write down too many piano covers because it's such a boring concept, but I agree. Like, the people who get it know that it's like interesting to do something new with it rather than to just like make it rockin', because you're like, oh man, if we make it rockin', it's just Where Is My Mind then, really, most of the time. But
yeah.
Okay, well, there's a couple more rockers. I forget what this one is. This is called Gomma, Gomma. I think this one seems pretty cool. This is pure Where Is My Mind though.
Yeah, but it also sounds like Pavement, like it sounds like it's rounded or whatever.
It's true. There's some nice
This
news.
is awesome.
Yeah, this one's sick. I want to hear where it goes. Oh. Not sure about that.
Awesome.
But, yeah, that's pretty sick. Gomma, Gomma. Check them out. And then of the rockers is the last one for now. This is I'm So Tired by Hell Here. Now, I'm not sure about this one. I don't know how to decide because I think the art is pretty cool.
The art is great.
It's like a skeleton taking a selfie in front of a nuke. And it's just like rocking quite a bit from my usual taste. But sometimes that like super rocking, if it's like the band Dead Soft or even Jeff the Brotherhood, I can hang with it. So I'm trying to decide if it hits that sweet spot. I think it might.
There's something here.
There's something, right? Also, this is like, they have 40 likes on Facebook. Our debut EP is streaming on all platforms. Like, no one cares about this band And it sounds so good that makes me kind of appreciate them.
Yeah, this is good. I don't know.
This one's good, yeah. Which is confusing. So it's not just if you're rocking with it, you can still pull it off. Interesting.
I think you just got to be rocking from a good place, and I feel like Hell Here is rocking from a pure place.
And also look at that runtime on Hell Here's cover. Oh yeah.
Oh, see, Hell Here knows. Hell Here knows.
155, baby. All right. Well, let's see. You know, that's one way to make it kind of rockin'. What if you turned it into a folk punk song? Is what everyone at home is asking. And well, this.
Yeah, you're right. Okay,
answers.
yeah. There's too many covers.
But at least it's the kind of like nice faux Django Reinhardt folk punk.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like it's all like.
Yeah. It's more
Okay,
in the,
no, this
it's
is
more
good,
in the
actually.
Barabo zone.
I do appreciate that the way this is titled, though, is not folk punk cover, simply punk cover, implying that the uploader feels that this is punk, like the essence of. And you know what? I agree.
It has like a ragtime feel.
Yeah.
If you could tap dance to all folk punk, then I think I would like it.
This is cool.
Yeah, it's sick. So okay. See, it is versatile. The song is surprising us with what we like and don't like. I think so far. Now this one is just more. I don't think it's folk punk, but it's in the realm. I think.
Barely see my breath surround.
It's like seems like probably David Dondero or something. Someone who like tours with folk punk people.
This does feel like something that I would be made to listen to in the kitchen after a house show.
This is
But where I'd be like,
Virtual
oh,
Bird is the name of this artist. They have quite a few subscribers.
I feel like I like Virtual Bird as a name.
I know. Well, listen,
the
violins coming in.
Everything I've learned, I hid my tracks. I spit out all my air.
Okay.
It's the vocal delivery that's folk punk. They're like,
Getting a little folk punk with it.
Yeah. Oh.
I cares.
It's good though. I like it. I like Virtual Bird. All right, let's move along away from rock and away from organic instruments to kind of get into the remix area. This one in particular, it just has such a horrible name that I thought I'd need to play it. It's called I'm So Tired, Le Epic Dance Remix. Fugazi was here once. But it's just a nice chiptune one.
Oh.
This is also uploaded by Epicness Unleashed is the name.
Well, yeah. Oh, this is great.
Yeah, it's epic. It's definitely epic. But let's keep moving through them. So this next one is by A Damn Man. Well, his name's Adam Man, but he also is A Damn Man. This is another remix of Fugazi. I'm So Tired.
Ooh, okay. Imagine you're at the club, this comes on.
I know.
Damn.
I can't remember if this has any kind of description, but like, it's hard to know what they're even trying to do. No, it just says I'm So Tired remix. It's tagged alternative rock. It's kind of, maybe they just start really wubbing. There's a little bit of wubba lubba, but I think it's just, it's kind of trappy, which is funny because the next person I'm going to play, Jacob Watson, 585, said, I must be the only person who thought of to do a Fugazi trap remix. So this is Fugazi, I'm So Tired trap. It's really bad in such a great way. First of all, it doesn't sound like trap at all. I love the picture of Jacob. It looks, at first glance, you're like, oh, damn, on a PJ. But I think it's just like a little passenger plane, like an aviation.
Yeah, which is like a very small plane.
It's just like one of those planes that's designed to make you throw up, pretty much.
This is good.
It's good, but check out what happens. What do you think that waveform is towards the end? I'll let you guess.
I did double times. Oh. Okay, it's losing me a little bit here.
Well,
Oh,
what is this?
whoa!
What does Jacob think that trap is? I do feel like I'm trapped.
That was like new. That was a new style.
It's a new style. I wonder what Ian MacKay would think of that specific cover, but we'll never know because I think he doesn't exist. I don't think he's real, actually. I think he's
No, I mean, have you ever seen him?
No. Okay, this next one I think is more of a kind of. Remember how like for about 3 months in 2021 there was a genre called hyperpop, and it's gone now. And or was that a
Yeah,
collective dream that we all had? I don't know.
It's disappeared. Yeah.
I don't know if this is hyperpop or if it's emo rap or what, but this seems to be a little bit trendier. This is I'm So Tired cover. It's very sick. It's a picture of an ultrasound.
I'm so tired since you got me.
This is uploaded by Ematorios.
Such a great skill on the sticky road.
I don't know if
Is there like a bunch of new lyrics in there? Because I feel like they opened with "I'm so
They
tired" and
opened
then it
with
just.
Yeah, I know. It's confusing. I don't. I mean, they've said it's an "I'm So Tired" cover, but cover is in quotation marks, so maybe it's.
Yeah,
I'm not really
inspired
sure,
by.
very sick, in my opinion. I think they should bring that kind of music back. I know too many blue check music journalists got into it too quickly, kind of immediately
Ruined the moment. Yeah, real quick.
But okay, this one I should have played earlier because this just visually this has the vibe of those horrible rock bands. This is called a band. Like, look at that artwork. This is a band called Godot's Travels, and it looks. What does this even look like? It looks like I don't even know how to. It looks like a water damaged CD from a pawn shop that no one has. That somehow came out on a major label, but only one copy of the CD was ever pressed and placed in the back of a water damaged pawn shop in like Lethbridge. That's all I can think of. Like,
That sells it, yeah, totally.
I don't even know how to describe it. It's so fucked up looking. And this was only put on here 5 years ago. So I think they've put their entire album on here, and I think this is a bonus track. And it sounds like shit, as you'll see. You can't really hear any of it. And then when I was looking at the tags, I noticed it says tagged indie rock, shower rock.
Oh, I think it's just someone singing in the shower.
But part of me thinks that some of that reverb sounds synthetic on the voice. Like, I'm wondering if they faked a shower singing, or you think it's real. I guess usually a good. I mean, I don't. Do you sing in the shower?
No. Do you?
No, of course not.
Yeah.
I think of things like Fugazi in the shower.
Yeah. You're busy.
But I guess people like it because it does have a nice reverberation. But to me, this sounds fake. I think Godot's Travels ended their tearjerker CD with a fake shower.
Maybe
cover.
it was revealed. Maybe that was it. Is that they got signed to a major, but then sort of manufacturing had begun, and then all of a sudden this controversy is revealed that it's not a real shower, and so they kind of stopped the presses.
Maybe they were hoping that would happen, but of course, no one gives a fuck about Godot's Travels. In fact, I didn't even bother putting them in any logical place because there's still some more remixes to listen to. This is an incredible one. This is DNB remix by Axau EDM. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
That hits the spot. I mean, that's sick as hell, in my
That's
opinion.
fucking awesome.
The next one I think is just another interesting remix that I found. I don't remember any details of it.
I can barely see my breath surrounded.
This is by Kevin Kemp.
Jealousy and death, I can't be.
Seems to be someone with a bit of a following.
Only had one call.
It starts a nice pop, but then I think it.
This time, I've lost my own return.
That's nice. That's real nice.
Everything I've learned, I hit my tracks. Spit on my air, slipped in the cracks.
See, there's mostly good vibes, I think, with the covers. We're not
this is
done yet,
fucking
but that, I
cool.
mean, that's a really nice one, Kevin.
No, the vibes are good. I mean, and honestly, like, you got to take the sweet with the sour.
It's true. I've always said that with food, with covers of infamous indie rock shareable songs. So this one is 6.5 minutes long, and I thought it was incredibly sort of creepy vibe. But the username is Chic Your Booty, which is makes me think that they're maybe a Frank Zappa head, which is, that's kind of a loaded thing.
Yeah, that's troubling.
But I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. It's so sick.
Oh my God.
It is really nice to listen to just like with Fugazi, like actually genuinely good music sometimes.
I know. It turns out it's fucking awesome.
Because people do cool things with it. Let's skip around a bit. So it's just like very dreamy from Chic Your Booty. So, we're basking in another high. I think we should get into possibly, maybe a low, maybe not. I'm not sure.
Bring us down, baby.
It's not a low necessarily, but let's get into like earnest singing in cursive YouTube. So this is Ivory Frost, the first one. Just kind of easing us into it. It's not super, it's mostly just really high gain. A lot of YouTube eye contact.
Yeah,
a lot of emoting.
Looking down, looking back up. Yeah, I mean,
kind of whisper singing. It's those vocal runs that really bring out the vibes. So this one has a little intro. This one is real,
Hi,
some real
I'm Nikki Bloom
smizing.
Smith. Maybe you've heard this one.
Nikki Bloom Smith. See, she's already given it some.
Oh.
I'm almost surprised that Postmodern Jukebox didn't do one of these.
Oh, wow, yeah.
She's really.
Out here.
She's almost like musical theater vibes.
Yeah.
Or like Bluebird Cafe, like Nashville vibes. It's
surround down.
I can't be reached. I only had one call, dragged underneath and separate from you all.
Again, too much eye contact, too jaunty. Like, it's not, I'm not saying it's bad. It's simply, I'm not the audience, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'll say it. Yeah, I guess it's not. It is honestly not bad. Is the thing. I think we would say if it was bad, but it's like almost. It's almost that it's too good.
Yeah. Again, just we're not the audience. That's all.
I hear
So let's go real deep into the uke zone. This is Mother Borg fixing her hair. She has kind of like a very holding up a loose leaf sheet of paper with the song title written on it. This is some real never shout never vibes or whatever.
Yeah.
In the bathroom with the uke.
Mm-hmm.
It must have been so stressful to go to a house party in the mid 2000s, not being able to tell if people were doing cocaine or recording ukulele Billie Holiday covers.
I can barely see my breath surround by jealousy and death. I can't be reached.
You know what? They're just not for us. That's all.
Is that what kind of show we're going to become? We're going to say things aren't for us?
They're just not for me.
I think this is for me. It's making me feel something, at least. So this one, I think, popular enough that there's a cover of this cover as well. There's lots of There's lots of meta covers this week. This is by Tristan Rebecca. I'm so tired. Tristan Okinen cover. So cover Inception going on this week. But I think it's just a photo of the singer in a cropped, shoulder-cut Misfits shirt with the audio of the last one over top of the photo, maybe.
Out here,
Oh, yeah, she's singing along with it.
I can barely see my breath surround.
So would you say, are you going to say this one's not for you as well?
It's just not for me.
This one is for me.
It's just not for me. It is, yeah. I think we're into things that are very much for you.
Contract underneath.
This channel has a cover of The Pretty Reckless and this cover as well. So it's Tristan. I mean, I just love, like, they're all so high gain and eye contact-y, but then to take a high gain, like really urgent, close, whispery sounding uke one, and then to turn up the gain even more so that you can sing basically an a cappella on top of, that's a level of intimacy that I've never felt in my ears before, really. So,
And are you changed? Would you say this?
I'm changed, but it made me ready for this one, which I probably is not going to be for you, I guess, if that's the line you're doing now. Now that we're just a fucking blue check show. But this is by, I guess, Salmon is the stage name of this person. This is like the maximum of the sort of what we've heard already, but kind of this real singing from the back of your throat. Like real, it's not even phlegmy because it's like you wouldn't even be able to get phlegm in there because it's all singing back there. Like that kind of like...
Oh, fuck, man.
Barely see my breath surrounded by jealousy and death. I can't be reached.
Oh, it's like it's just like it's I'm feeling it like in my body. I'm like physically uncomfortable listening to it. Why do you have to do that? No, okay, this is really not for me.
That's my own return inspired.
I mean, it's interesting because it's obviously, in 2022, it's obviously fucking terrible, but it's a perfect representation of like what everyone was doing this. It's like how you see like millennials on Twitter still thinking that they've got it, commenting on modern fashion styles.
Right.
It's like, no, this is what it looks like if you're still wearing like millennial clothes, and it's okay to do it, but just it's not your stage anymore. That's what this sounds like to me. It's like
right.
Millennials, we're getting too old for this shit. So let's see what Gen Z's doing with it. Here's a real moody lad. Look out, he's got snow outside his window. Like he probably waited for the weather to get perfect. And he's being all pensive and shy before he gets there.
Out here,
This is Albert Brewer.
Barely see my breath surround.
This sounds like someone covering Radiohead.
Yeah.
Jealousy and death, I can't.
Probably could use a pop screen, but that's just me.
Only had one call, dragged.
But I mean, look at this. He's got the Gen Z center part. He's got a nice Tommy Hilfiger rugby sweater. Posed in front of a beautifully framed Rule of Thirds shot with some snow falling outside.
This time, I've lost my.
I mean, it's still really not for me, but you know, this is an influencer song. I think we're learning.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it? It's kind of like big on TikTok, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it is. So let's take a little break from the somber alone ones and check out a few more bands. This one I thought was really cool. This is a band called JJ Swimsuit, which I think is a cool name. Cool art. And just like, you know, it's got that walking around feeling that I'm always looking for.
Yeah,
You can strut to this.
yeah, this is cool. This would be a cool strut.
You'd really go somewhere. This one's so sick. The highs this week are real high.
Yeah, this is fucking awesome.
That's like some sick power pop vibes. And also the band is, what did I say they're called? JJ Swimsuit? That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's a good name. That the whole vibe was good.
This band is called Gengar. G-A-E-N-G-A-H-R. Might be back in the back of the throat again. I feel like this style of music is from when every normie heard that one Grizzly Bear record. I was like, we just, you know, we're already playing in church. Why don't we just do this also on the side? Or like Fleet Foxes or whatever.
Yeah.
Out here, I can barely see my
No,
This one's almost
not for me.
that one was almost there, but it did enter the not for me zone. This another lake. I forget what the lake one was earlier. This is Fog Lake. See, it's possible to make your voice sound like world weary without going full Kermit mode. I mean, this one's getting close to Kermit throat, but it's not there.
But it's this one's cool.
Yeah, I like this one too.
Yeah, like there's a way to do it that isn't disgusting.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. There's still a bunch more, but I think they're all pretty interesting here on out. This one is so weird. This is a band called H-A-A-G-S, Hags.
And what is this like?
I don't know what it's even going for.
Separate from you all. This time I've lost my.
What does it sound like? I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't understand.
Everything I've learned, I hid my track.
Like, I think in the truest sense, it's still not for me, it's like musically, but I respect it a lot because it's so weird.
Yeah. No, this is not for me, but that's not a euphemism.
The other ones were a euphemism.
Yes.
Because you admitted that they fucked us up. Whoa.
No. I mitigated.
This one's getting actually sick. This one is becoming more for me. That guitar is sick. That's so perplexing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I don't know where.
Okay, well, there's a couple.
You get that vibe from.
There's a couple more like solo covers, but these ones I think I'm pretty sure these ones were all good. This one by Sarah Sumrall is like high gain, whispery, but done right. I think. It's almost like
I saw this one on
ASMR.
Twitter, but I was like, I bet there's a YouTube version of this.
Yeah.
Sublime poster in the background.
The phone's like on the piano, so it's kind of shaky.
I can barely see my breath.
There's still like some vocal affectations, but it's not.
By jealousy and death, I
And it's like
can't
you can do a thing with your voice.
It's a very it doesn't have to be exactly. This one is like buttery, but not like Paula Deen butter overdose of butter.
separate from you all. This time.
Oh yeah, that one's sick.
Sick. Yeah, that was awesome.
Sarah Sumrall. Okay, this one I just thought was interesting because it was uploaded literally 2 days ago. This is by Deepwater Pariah, and it's really quite creepy also.
It's very quiet.
Very dark.
It's definitely like an unlit basement, I feel like.
I think, is this kid wearing a Bad Religion shirt? Like I can't really
can't
tell if
see-
they're
I can't
singing like this
see.
on purpose to do sort of like the Orville Peck, as you mentioned earlier, affectation, or if they just actually have that voice.
Yeah, I can't tell.
It's very interesting,
very dark
but it was
and quiet.
uploaded like 3 days ago. That's why we had to check that one out. So here's
Sick.
the one of the only.
There's
piano
always a reason why
ones.
we have to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. And I can find more reasons for more videos if you want. If it's ever not enough, just let me know and I'll find more.
Okay, yeah, no, that's good to know. I appreciate that.
This one
Thanks, man.
is by VLAME. I love being able to hear the piano keys clicking.
Yeah.
That one's, I mean, it's just almost, it's so sick that it's almost not even worth staying on it for too long because it's just so good. This next one, Misanthrope Records is the name of the uploader. I just thought another piano one, but look at this room. More people should do this kind of shot of their room.
Ooh.
It looks like a Mike Lee film, honestly. It has like incredibly
Beautiful room.
ugly wallpaper.
Beautiful shot. Yeah.
Beautifully framed shot. A profile view of the singer with a light shining directly into the lens. It's creating a light flare effect. So cool. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's for me though. This one I thought Artur Porpino just doing something jazzy with the piano chords.
Out here, can barely see my breath surrounded.
It is almost a lo-fi beat to study and chill to type of song. But I didn't like this angle. When I saw this angle, I started thinking that I was like kneeling in front of his bed and he was serenading. It just felt like I was all of a sudden in some kind of POV scenario that I wasn't prepared for.
Yeah, it's not a P you want a V.
At least let me get in the mood first. I don't want to just immediately
Right, I think that's it. It's like, ooh, I've
kneeling
just been-
before Archer being like, please play me your sexy, jazzy version of, I don't know. But otherwise, I thought musically it was nice. It's just when I got to that POV, I was a little bit PO'd, I guess.
PO'd about the V, yeah.
Here's a fingerstyle cover by Fla P. I mean, it's kind of a classic pod song. All the styles of cover are represented.
Yeah, we've covered, I think, every style of cover here.
It's including covers of other covers.
Yeah.
We're almost.
Thankfully, it looks like there's still like a dozen left.
But these ones are all interesting. I promise. They're all good. This next, are you bored of this one? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're hinting at? This one's not for you.
No, not at all. No, I'm actually not. I'm loving it.
I hear a chair squeaking. I don't know if it's yours or if it's his, but
It's me. This is me. I got a really loud chair, so I got a really loud floor, and so
my chair's really loud too.
Sheep are counting me, and so I'm just like kind of shimmying to kind of stay sharp, you know.
It's fair. Well, I think this next one will awaken something in us because this is well, it's at Christmas time, and I don't know how to pronounce the name of these. There's a guy with a lighter wearing some fake Ray-Bans in the foreground. A guy in a Christmas hat playing piano. It's just
in like a real
shit everywhere.
Party house.
Yeah.
But I love that this party house has a piano.
Yeah.
And this guy can sing. This is great.
He's got a nice voice, but there's a nice little treat coming in.
Jealousy and death, I can be reached. Only have one call, drug time to reef. Separate from you all.
Oh, here he is. French horn guy just showed up.
This time.
It's like Chekhov's French horn player, though. Like, he made a big entrance, but now is just kneeling.
I feel like this always happens when there's like a horn guy. Though. Is he warming up or something? Do that outside. Do it in the other room.
Oh, there it is.
I mean, the funny thing about this one is if you just are hearing it at home, I was going to say if you close your eyes, but I realize that's how everyone on Earth is experiencing this, except for us too. It's just musically very nice.
But it's also visually quite striking.
It's visually striking, but in a way that's very annoying. Like that this is a failed proto or post Lonely Island comedy troupe, for sure. It's like very random, but if you just close your eyes, it's really nice sounding. So shout out to those guys. I mean, that was so fun. So now we're into just like some couple instruments combined. I mean, this one we'll play real quick, but this is just drums and keys. I just like that the lads were having some fun with it. Let out a cough at the start. Why not? This is uploaded by Kevin McKinney. Drums on it.
I mean, yeah, this is awesome.
This like sounds like a definitive Jugs beat or something.
Well, I was gonna say, it like reminds me of like, you know, in the kind of 2000s when there were a lot of bands that would do like live techno or whatever.
Yeah,
it's just like the new deal.
I think what you're referring to is if you've worked in any form of media in Canada, you've been forced to see the band Keys and Crates like 3,000 times.
Yes.
They're always playing at every event that you ever go to.
And you were always like, damn, Keys and Crates pretty good.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh my god, what am I doing? All right, so that was keys and drums. Up next is banjo and harmonium, but this is Sarah Petrus doing both. So it starts with a nice little banjo and whistling too. I mean, there's so much going on. See, this one is like quirky, but it's not annoying, I think. Maybe it's because the banjo playing is so terrible that it's charming.
I think that's it. Being bad at something that is annoying is sort of like, it's almost like they know. They haven't put that
you
much
fixed
time
it.
into
Exactly. I could get good at this annoying instrument, but...
Barely see my breath surrounded by jealousy.
Even where the video's set up is like... There's a real drunken energy to this video.
Yeah, totally. It just sort of feels like everyone's just sort of fallen into place.
I gotta play it through so we can get the transition to the other instrument because it's so clumsy that it's great.
Everything I've learned, I hid my tracks, spit out all my ends, slipped into cracks, stripped of all my kiss, my
Why is she singing along with that also?
You know what? I love it.
It's so good.
It's great. It's so beautiful.
so sick.
I'm so tired.
It's just totally. So this one, while we're combining two things, this one is braces and bass. There's a little fuck up at the start. It says fuck. This is Blue Painted Planets. Just chilling. When I was a kid, my oma used to make like, I forget what they're called right now, Rollkuchen, some kind of Mennonite fried dough dish that was so delicious. And it would be deep fried and then dried on paper towel. And both times I've loaded this video, I thought that there was some kind of deep fried buns on a paper towel on this cover of his bed, but I think it's just a teddy bear.
It feels like maybe a cover of the war paint version. Just based on the
Yeah, it
bass
might
forward, and just also like context clues of this person's vibe.
It's true. It's sick though. The war paint version's tight.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, and real quick, so this person had braces. Here's an 8-year-old singing it. Just kind of doing some age stuff.
You saying real quick is one of my favorite, and I think your most troubling, like sort of pod behaviors. Real quick, like we've been listening to these covers for hours.
You want me to add more? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. I would like it to be real quicker. Just an 8-year-old singing in front of a fire.
Yeah, it's so nice.
This time
I think that, I mean, the I'm so tired sheep are counting me thing and the melody does make it perfect as a kid's song, but Lord knows what the rest of the song is about.
Yeah, no, it seems really grim to let a child.
Probably anti-capitalist throughout.
Yeah, you don't want to be getting those ideas in their head.
stripped of all my cares.
So that's the 8-year-old singing it. I don't know. We probably don't need to say the name of the channel. You don't need to go following some family. But I have noticed a lot of people named Sarah with no H have covered it, but not the one in my life yet. So maybe.
Ooh, maybe. But you know, it seems like it's maybe her destiny.
Yeah, I won't tell her. Maybe she'll just naturally come to it. Although
it'll happen. It happens to every Sarah.
I mean, although I was listening to Fugazi earlier this month, and she asked me to turn it off because I think if you're not in it, it's really
no. If it's just
rough.
like happening casually in the background,
hit with a raw ghee out of nowhere, it's not so good. But anyways, this next one I think has flutes in it. This is Sir Hour. I thought this was an interesting. Just real quick.
Out here, I can barely see my breath surrounded by jealousy and death. I can't be reached, only heaven called, dropped underneath, separate from you all.
Since we are on a time crunch, I'll skip ahead a little bit. Maybe it's just organ. Oh, here we go. Listen to that. How it comes in? On some Jens Lekman shit or something? Like, I don't know what this person's going for, but that one I think is for me. I think that one's for me. How about you?
Love a flute. Yeah, that's for me. The flute's for me.
Yeah, me too. Okay, this next one is uploaded by someone named Gabbo, which is a Simpsons reference because it's a Simpsons art. But this one is really cool. It's on an organ. A lot of nice room tone in a lot of these covers.
I feel like if it's got good room tone, you know the cover's going to be good. They understand that like part of what you're covering is like is the room tone.
Oh, the double vocals.
Barely see my breath surrounded
Gabbo.
by jealousy and death.
Gabbo is.
I can't be reached,
tight.
So sick. Okay. Next one is Verpacked. Verpackt. I'm so tired, Fugazi. It's like a cool picture of some rain to set the mood. I mean, I guess of a street covered in rain, not a
It's like,
photo of
it's
the
like
actual
interesting that you would describe that as a photo of rain. It's like a wet city street at night. Like, this is a photo of rain. Damn, that's like some rain is very weird.
You don't see that? I only see one single drop of rain.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's because I'm crying. I guess it's more of a remix, eh? Sounds cool.
Yeah, this is fucking sick.
Okay, up next is Piano and Cello by the Bell Jar.
Calling your like school classical ensemble the Bell Jar is great.
It's almost like
This is great.
too classical school of a name.
Yeah, totally.
Makes me think that they're like undercover cops. It's like a 21 Jump Street scenario.
Right, just trying to infiltrate the mean hallways.
And then they realize they're actually sick as hell at both piano and cello.
Right, yeah, they're finding themselves.
And then they end up being asked to join like their city's local symphony, and the fucking police chief is like, God damn it, you need to stay at the school. We need to do the bust. We haven't done the bust yet. I guess it is literally 21 Jump Street. Real nice. The Bell Jar. Check out that book. I've never read it. Is it good? Do you like it?
I mean, I don't know. I read it like in school, and I think I thought it was, like cool and important or whatever. But
I think as I get older, I'm realizing all the things people have read in school. I think I really did truly just always go on the SparkNotes website for everything. Right. I don't think I read any of the, because I'm like, at this point, I'm like, should I just read like Brave New World or whatever? Like I missed everything. But you know what?
Yeah, Brave New World's sick, but like I don't know.
But it's kind of weird to read it at
You read the
37
SparkNotes.
years old. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
This next one's called Tokay, which I think I might have written down because it's a fun name to say, but I don't remember. Tokay. It's okay with T at this time. No, this one's cool. The guitars all sound weirdly warbly. These are these weird synths coming in.
This is fucking awesome.
This one is Tokay with me. Why do they call it mid-lead and not Tokay? That's what I've always wondered since I heard of this band.
I'm impressed by your ability to still generate like that level of joke at this stage in the show. I like really admire it.
It's because I know no one's here. I'm just testing out new material. I know no one is here except for you. It's kind of like you're the owner of the open mic night, and I'm just testing out my material. Okay, I hate to say it, there's only 3 left. It's so disappointing for all of us, but
yeah.
Well, real quick, we'll get through these, and then we'll go to bed. Odd Logic is the next one. This one has the image is the broken missing image, and it's super cool.
I think like we've done these like very long. It's been a minute since we've had a cover section this long, and so like that muscle is out of shape. But also like this, because the song is so beautiful and slow. There's like the grunty covers like jolted me awake. But this is like the most. There was a point where I had my head down in my hands earlier, and I was like, I'm going to fall asleep.
Yeah. Do it. What if you can sleep for the rest of the pod if you want? I don't care.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna put my head down on my desk and sort of comment from there.
What? This one's not exciting enough for you?
No, this is fucking awesome. This is about comfort for me. My butt hurts now.
Oh. that probably made your butt feel nice.
Yeah. No, everything feels nice now. The image for this was perfect. I mean, I'm not looking at it now because my eyes are closed and I'm laying on the desk.
Do you? I would love to know if you actually do like. Maybe we need to ask Ashley, but do you like vamp while you're falling asleep?
Do I vamp? Like, do I talk to her?
Yeah, I'm just like nervously like, wait, you're like, oh, that was such a great dinner. What a great today was awesome.
I do that. I absolutely do that.
Me too. Honestly, me too.
Like, oh, yeah. I'll be like, oh, that was fun today. So we're reading. We're going to bed.
Yeah.
Vamping.
Being a vamping husband
never thought,
is so
I never
tight.
thought of it as...
Well, you know what, Sam? There's only 2 left. This one's really cool, though. You're going to want to pay attention. This is by Nick Drexler.
I'm paying attention, man. I'm locked in.
This is Speech Synth by Nick Drexler. I'm so tired. I mean, this literally sounds like when you're like playing a video game and the character falls asleep. It sounds like a dream in Katamari Damacy. This is... Even the art is like sleepy time art.
How do you make this?
I mean, I just search for them. That's how I do it.
This is the best one yet.
I know.
I think. Yeah.
I agree. I love it. So that's why this was almost going to be the last one of the episode, but then I found one that will really make our dreams very weird. I love the way that it's like going staticky too.
Well, just love that it's like the idea the original song is this sort of flawed, sort of seemingly tossed off, piece of found music, and then this is this sort of
beautiful, like
seemingly sort of less personal electronic version that then is just imbued with all these other sort of digital specific flaws to elicit the same feeling. Is again, it speaks to like you're partially covering the room tone.
Yeah, it's true.
This is fucking sick.
Well, I think if we had left it here, we probably would have great dreams. Now I don't know, because I did need to save this one for last. This is Vipera, Quasi il tempo di una sigaretta. I'm so tired cover. This one I think is going to give us bad dreams. This has like sort of Fringe Fest bad dream vibe, but in a way that I can't quite look away. It sort of looks like modern art painting. There's a woman smoking a cigarette, sitting in a chair, looking pensively. That's in the whole cover. But it's really nice too.
Yeah, this is a very conscious vibe.
It's very delightful.
Out here, I barely saw my breath surrounded.
Tana Di Vipera is the uploader.
And death that can't be reached.
I'm just gonna pause it for a
smoking
second.
is not doing anything.
She doesn't do anything. So this is arranged sort of like a modern art piece. I really want us to like vibe with it, but the way that it's presented is very high art. But then the one comment on here, there's not that many people, is so British that it almost ruins it for me. It says, "Fucking enjoyable, mate." You need to pause it to hear that because
I want to look again. This like painting composition.
Yeah,
there's like really aggressively vibey lighting.
Such sick guitar playing
kind of,
too.
Yeah.
Everything I've learned, I hit my tracks.
This is from 2 years ago, and it's the only actual video uploaded by this user. There's also something called Caged Clown, which is like a YouTube, whatever the reels are called.
Oh, YouTube Shorts.
This is so sick, though.
I am so tired, and sheep
inside come to me. No more struggle. No more energy.
I mean, for everyone else, it's perfect, but it's just something about this living painting is really scary right before bed.
Yeah, you definitely are going to have to put this on Twitter.
And I'm not sticking around, I'm not sticking around, I'm not sticking around.
An image that will haunt me.
Un idea di vapera.
Damn, art rocks.
So that was, we can keep the room tone of this while we do our final thoughts. That was I'm So Tired. I think I like the song even more now, actually. What about you? I mean, I think that was a great time. I do feel tired, and I know I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to come up with enough personas for all the different sheep, but maybe I'll try. Are you there? Are you asleep?
What?
I'm very excited to be, I'm making a lot of new friends this week. Harvey from TMZ, Shelley, who runs the MGK fan account. And here's someone I've been talking to on Twitter for quite a while. We have lots of mutual friends. This is our first time chatting with each other. What's up, Melissa?
Not too much. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So you are, I guess, a pop musician. You make is it electronic pop? How do you define it?
Yeah, I just usually say synth pop. I used to say EDM, and people would be like, "You're not making EDM, Melissa." And I was like, "Well, it's electronic. It's kind of dancey." But I don't know. I think it's just kind of like a straight up, pop music that's maybe influenced by like some of the sadder stuff I enjoy. Like Carissa's weird in some respects, So.
Oh my God! I wish that there was someone making real like Chainsmokers-esque EDM inspired by Carissa's weird. That'd be so tight.
I think we can work with this concept.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, and you're also kind of like, I mean, would you say that you're involved in like emo or punk or hardcore or anything in those realms as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I more grew up in that kind of sphere. I'm definitely like an emo kid. I actually in preparation for this podcast, I was just like kind of in a Discord Records mood, and I was like, I'm going to listen to some Q and Not You, things like that, Rites of Spring, whatever. That's more the scene I identify with, I guess.
Right. And so, I mean, having said that, the word emo even, and obviously this is a Blink-182 podcast that's talking about Fugazi more than anything. What's your vibe with like, do guilty pleasures exist? Do you still like things that are dog shit, or are you too cool for certain things now, like Blink-182 or something like that?
So I have that's like a complicated question, because on one hand, as I got older, I became more open to stuff that I would have previously found embarrassing, because I'm like, why would I like something that isn't cool? It must be cool if I enjoy it. Or like the nature of like pop music, and part of why I started, I guess, like making that more so is like, I like that it is accessible for a wide range of people. I don't think that's automatically a bad thing. You can make good quality pop music just as you can make bad quality punk music, So I think like you don't have to feel ashamed of the stuff you like. There is certainly some stuff that I still kind of like will hide from my last FM, but like for the most part.
How do you do that? Like, so that's the thing. Like, I don't do the grids. I think that you might do grids. Every Friday or whatever, all the music heads on Twitter post their little grid, and it's a real fun time for all involved. Can you actually like block things from it, or do you have to Photoshop it after if it reveals that you were listening to Good Charlotte all week, which would probably what would happen to me?
Oh, I don't Photoshop out Good Charlotte, to clarify, but I would leave that in. But I would either have to like go in and manually delete the scrabbles, or I hate that I stream now, but when I'm using Spotify, I can, turn on private streaming mode, like the not social element, or like I have a YouTube scrobbler I use at work, so I can not turn it on if I'm on a page.
It's like, the scrobbling is so serious again. It really brings me back to the 2000s. Can you tell us like one thing that you're ashamed of to have scrabbled and show up on your grid?
Oh gosh. Sometimes I'll take off some brand new if it gets too high.
Oh, true. Fair.
Especially since like hanging out with Seamus, our friend who's from Long Island, when we head out that way, I feel like we're always playing brand new and Taking Back Sunday, so I'll get in the mood, you know?
So it's Seamus's fault, you're saying?
It's all Seamus, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so that's so you. It sounds like you're like more 75% into things that are cool instead of me being just obsessed with things that are shitty until I love them sincerely. Is that fair to say?
Maybe. Yeah, that's probably a decent number.
Okay, yeah. So that's an interesting place to talk about Fugazi, because to me, you know, in my personal journey of my life, I feel like I appreciate Fugazi again right now. For a long time I didn't, because I was like turned off by how serious and like capital G good it all is. And now I'm kind of looping. I think I've just listened to mainstream sellout so many times that I'm like, maybe Fugazi, I should just listen to some Fugazi now for a while. But for you, like, how has your relationship with Fugazi changed over the years? And like, do you ever just want to sit them down and say, why so serious?
So I guess, honestly, I should probably be way more into Fugazi than I have been. Like, I definitely know a lot more obvious stuff because it's just, you know, that's just the thing everyone knows. But at the same time, they've influenced so much of the music that I do listen to that it's kind of crazy I'm not, like, more familiar than I am. So, like, you know, you were talking about, like, I'm so tired being, like, the subject of the episode, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember that's when I listened to a lot in high school, and I was very depressed back then, so it felt like just the right thing to do. And I guess, and not just with them, but in general, a lot of music, I think I've come around to, like, maybe I got more into pop music because I wasn't depressed anymore. I became a lot happier, and I could enjoy dancing and, you know, just mindless indulgence and stuff like that. But now I am at a place where I think I can listen to music and detach a little bit more than I could as a teenager from the emotions of it and just kind of appreciate that this is like a genius song. So
right.
I think, if anything, I'm kind of like, I don't mind that it's so serious, and I maybe am more mature now to appreciate it in a different way.
Fair enough. So, yeah, okay, you mentioned that you listened to this song a lot as a depressed teen.
Yes.
I want to dig into that a little bit more, but first off, as someone who makes, like, electronic pop music, Carissa's weird inspired EDM is what we're going to go with from now on. Which is kind of like a way better version of how the Chainsmokers have a song about listening to Beach House. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
I don't know.
It's
they
terrible.
have the song and they mention Blink-182.
Yeah, that's like, you know, that was kind of where they started off. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you're saying, oh, I can go back and appreciate things like Fugazi now. And what I'm saying is, I listen to every new Chainsmokers song when it comes out, is where I'm at in my life.
Yes.
And they have one that's like about listening to Beach House. I think the EDM to indie, shaking hands meme, I think you're really on the cutting edge of something with this idea. So I think what I'm saying is you should go by EDM again.
Yes.
Don't let the haters
yes.
turn you off. But anyways, you make like sort of, you know, electronic pop music. You're talking about being a sad teen. Now, I've noticed, and we've just, at this point in the episode, listened to probably 1,000 different, like, vibey alt teen or adults with the spirit of alt teen covering this song. What do you think it is about this song specifically that transcends, like, being a Fugazi fan and just connects with the morose teen that's in all of us?
Well, I would say part of it is probably, like, it doesn't necessarily sound like all of their catalog. Like, someone who's not into this sort of music, I think, can enjoy it just as well. You know, I'm sure my mom could enjoy this song, you know? I mean, to be fair, she loves, like, 80s new wave stuff. So, like, it's not to say she can't enjoy cool stuff. But I just think, like, this song is just, I don't know, it's kind of timeless in a sense, and I think the subject matter is something a lot of people relate with. I actually, for funsies, I was looking at the songmeanings.com, like comments about this, and they're all from like 2004, 2007.
That was that's when that website was like thriving, to be honest.
Yes, I wish it still was, but I think there's something really beautiful about it being kind of a time capsule in some respects now.
It's true.
But like, one of the comments that I thought was interesting was, here, I have it right here. Someone says, I could see this as a Beatles song. Amazing versatility. Like, I think like that's kind of a crazy thing to say. I wonder if they just thought that because there is a Beatles song with the same title. But yeah, I think in general, I don't know. Just there are a lot of different elements at play here.
It's true, and also I think like there's, as I'm sure you saw in song meanings or as we've already discussed, there are so many actual lyrics in this, but then just the literal phrase being "I'm so tired." I mean, who doesn't relate to that? Being tired.
Yeah,
that's like people have built entire brands on. It's kind of like the original, like "So Sad Today" or whatever the new kind of performatively emo kind of internet brand is. This Ian MacKaye basically invented it here.
Yeah, he's very much like a Forever 21 t-shirt kind of guy.
Have you ever covered this song?
I have not. I think that would be kind of funny. Oh, and another comment actually I have pulled up because I thought it was really funny. There's someone who said, like, they're talking to themselves about thinking it was a different lyric and going, oh, actually, that is what he says. And then they say, I think it would be cool to do a cover of this and change the lyrics up a bit. And then they make another comment that says, but not a poppy version, because that would be just wrong.
That's so good.
So maybe I should make a poppy version.
You should. You definitely should. Well, okay, so the reason that I invited you on is because I do this very creepy thing with my mutuals where I search to see what they've tweeted about. Now, I don't know what this means, and I can even delete this if this is too weird, but you had tweeted in 2014, "I'm so tired" by Fugazi plays in background of committee room, hashtag MAMUN14, and I've clicked the hashtag, and I have no clue what this is, but I would love to know what was happening. Is this a Model UN thing?
Yes, I was the secretary general of my club in high school.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was very into Model UN. I wasn't even that good at it. To clarify, I was not a very convincing debater, but it was like a very
isn't that
big
like
part of my life.
not to get political, but like doesn't that make you like good at? Isn't the UN also not very good at being the UN? What with all that's going on in the world nowadays?
I guess that's not what we were focusing on in the club. It was more just oh, you do research, you write a paper, and then you get to go and I don't know, hang out at a hotel and try and think of solutions to problems and from unique perspectives. I don't know. It sounds so dorky put like that. And the worst part is we were really dorky as a club because there was not a camper dance. There was a delegate dance, and we would always be it's so unprofessional. What if you saw Zimbabwe grinding on Uruguay? It would just be wrong.
I don't think I would want I understand that it seems dorky to talk about Model UN, but I don't think I would want there to be a cool Model UN. That's even weirder, isn't it? Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no. So I actually looked up that tweet after you invited me on this podcast. I was like, when have I tweeted about Fugazi? And I was like, that is so funny. I was probably the only person at that conference who would give a shit about that kind of joke, Right.
But,
so this is the 2014. What does MAM stand for?
Mayman. So it was I think middle. It was so usually they stand for the college it's at or the region, but I can't remember what the A is because I don't think it's Mid-American because I think it was in Michigan. So it was something along those lines.
I mean, you mentioned a time capsule on song meanings. I love clicking through MAMUN14 hashtag. Is there other people in here that you know? Or is it was there tons of people?
There was a lot of different schools that would go. So maybe some of my club maybe used the hashtag, but it's just back then you just hashtagged everything,
Yeah. Well, someone named Bridget is posting a photo of her friend Ninja Turtleneck, which is either spelled wrong or they've deactivated, helping an old lady into her car. So that's some real Model UN shit. It's kind of I guess the one thing that I would say rather than being dorky is it seems a little teacher's pet. Were you kind of a teacher's pet or?
Yeah, I mean, I was homies with my AP Lit teacher and my AP World History teachers were the people who ran the club basically. I can't remember the term for it. whatever. So I definitely like got like kind of on a friendship level with them, you know, like hang out with them and some of the other kids during lunch and whatever.
That rules. That's so good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just trying to, you know, obviously it's a very cruel thing to do to make somebody talk about their tweets out loud to begin with, but then to make it from nearly a decade ago, I mean, it's horrible. And I do this to Sam all the time on the show. But, like, did you actually hear I'm So Tired on the PA at the Model UN, or were you just kind of, like, expressing that your tiredness when you were a teenager?
Oh, yeah, that was just me, like, falling asleep, like, getting, like, water cups from, like, the... you know, little plastic cups of water, trying to keep myself awake. So it was not playing, no.
But it's true. This song pops into my head every time I'm tired. Ever since I've heard it.
Me too. And I even like it's honestly kind of cute. Like for you know, given the rest of the lyrics, like I'm so tired, sheep are counting me. That's just like it's really cute. You know?
It is. It's really. I haven't checked, and maybe I will before we do the rest of the episode. But I wonder what's like the Etsy cross stitch situation with that quote, because I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it really is made for that.
Yes, I would love to see that.
Well, Melissa, it's been so delightful becoming closer to IRL friends with you. Before you go, what do you want to plug?
I guess you could just listen to my music. It's Melon, MEL*N. Or I have a Twitter too. It's Gmail Gaze, so that's the male gaze, but like Gmail. Yeah,
that rules. And what about like if people want to get into the Model UN?
I think I'm a little out of touch with that community these days.